This is Sean.
This is Kevin.
And this is the one other thing, and we are already on episode 28, my
28,
friend.
yes.
Yeah, take
Hello.
two.
Take two.
Yeah, we might have started the show, 10 minutes ago and
Yeah.
not actually recorded.
Yeah.
We're not going to tell, but it might have happened.
Yes, might have happened.
That's fantastic. But, yeah, we've got some things to talk about today. And, it's Thursday. That's when we do our shows. And, if you're a first-time listener, please welcome. This is a show where you will learn all sorts of things about nothing at all.
Yes.
But,
I know.
It's all about, hanging out. And that's basically what this show is. It's Kevin and I hanging out, and we wanted to bring it, share it with all of you because, well, the more the merrier.
Yes.
So, again, if you're a first-time listener, welcome. And if you're a long-time listener, thank you. Love
Yes.
having you back.
Thank you.
Yes, sincerely. Yeah, we can't thank you enough. So, without further ado, we're going to jump right into it with, we typically do the what are you watching, playing, and music sections. And
Yeah.
we're going to try to adhere to that. But, I think we've embraced the fact that that kind of is the show. So we're just going to jump right into various things. But I had one topic that, we've been hoarding conversations, when I get some news, I'm like, oh, I want to tell my friend Kevin, and I'm not going to do it.
No.
I'm waiting for the show. I want to share it with everybody.
Right.
But every once in a while, there's a piece, there's something that comes up that I'm like, yeah, I'm not waiting. And this happened, and that would be CyberPunk being delayed.
Yeah, again, for some weird reason, I know they wanted to get it working on all the game systems, and, I don't know. They're getting death threats, too, which I never do understand. But they just want to make sure it's only a couple more weeks.
If you're sending death threats over a game being delayed, I can tell you right now, you're going to be let down. I don't care how good the game is. It's not that good.
Yeah, I know. They're like, not enough Keanu. I hate this game. I don't know. You're gonna hate something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I can think is WWKD. What would Keanu do? And I don't think he'd give people a death threat.
No, he would not.
He'd actually do it.
Yes.
He killed his dog.
Yes.
I saw it.
Oh, Jesus. I haven't seen the third movie yet.
I haven't either. Actually, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, yeah.
I mean, you get the gist.
Yeah, I get the gist. Yeah, he's a badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't kill his dog.
Don't kill.
Yeah.
Not for nothing. I can completely relate to that movie.
Yeah.
Like do like the simplicity of it, the pure efficiency. Like, here's the story: they killed his dog. Now he's gonna go fucking shoot everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody everywhere.
Didn't they have that reaction though when the one boss when he goes, "What did you do? You stole his car, and you killed his dog? Oh, we're in trouble."
Yeah. Oh,
they
yeah.
they get that look in the face like, "Oh, we're in trouble now."
Yeah. Oh, it's
way to
not,
go, kid.
Not for nothing. Yeah. You kill my dog. Yeah. I don't even have a dog. You kill my fictitious dog. I'm gonna go all. Harvey Keitel had a line in Reservoir Dogs that I fucking love, and it was simply, "You shoot me in a dream, you better wake up and apologize."
That's pretty good.
I mean, that's as badass. But yeah, you shoot my
Yeah.
dog, you shoot my fictional dog, you better fucking wake up and apologize.
Jesus. I feel like that when my wife has dreams and I do something wrong.
Oh yeah.
I apologize for dreams she's had.
Oh, entirely. I've
Yeah.
entirely gotten in trouble for doing nothing but going to bed.
Yeah.
Like, she's just, God knows, she dreamt I did God knows what, and next thing you know, I'm a giant asshole. It's like I literally was just sleeping.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, because later on I have to talk about a nightmare the wife had last night after watching a horror movie, so we'll talk about that later.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of
So,
interesting.
yeah, so I'm just going to put it out there because I've got a piece of devastating news for me, and it's, I like to think I'm coping, but, this week on Monday specifically, we had to put down our baby Delilah. She was 20 years old, basically, 20-year-old cat.
Yeah.
And, it's, I got to say, hurts like hell, but I keep reminding myself, one of the things, I've said this to you, and it's one of the things I try to keep in mind, is it's such pure wisdom, and it comes from fucking Dr. Seuss of all people, but I believe it's Cat in the Hat, and it's don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. And I keep thinking, I've been working too long, I've been a professional too long, I keep thinking of return on investment,
Yeah.
and that's how I'm looking at it, unfortunately, and it's basically the trade-off is you're going to go through this mourning period where your heart is going to get ripped out of your chest, and it's just going to hurt. And, I'm pretty much there now. It just hurts. Her absence is palpable, is how I say it. But in exchange, you're getting all those years. I mean, 20 years. I didn't even know cats lived that long.
Yeah.
You're getting all of those years of just nothing but joy. It's a no-brainer. Entirely worth it, So I have no mistake we'll get additional cats. We still have one left, but I have no doubt we'll get additional ones. And knowing full well they're going to break my heart.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. And it's funny, it's actually almost a theme for today's show. Because, as the expression goes, better if loved and lost than never loved at all kind of
Yeah.
thing. And that's just it. It's sucks, shitty news. So if I seem down a little bit, sorry, folks, I entirely am bumming. But
There is a
worth it.
silver lining though.
Which is?
Is if you keep getting cats all the time, as you get older,
Oh, yeah.
eventually they'll outlive you.
Yeah, sooner or later.
So
Yeah.
you got that.
Well,
That's all I
now
ask.
that we've shared it with the fans too,
Yeah.
I had to let my friend Kevin know that, of course. And well, how else would you tell him? So, of course, Kevin got the unfortunate text of Baby Delilah's on the roof and I can't get her down.
Yeah. Yeah, it's better than the alternative text is.
Yeah.
So, but reading it, I knew exactly what happened, and there wasn't a very audible, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It sucked. It's, I think I was partly in denial because she was in rough shape. She was suffering. It had to happen. But, I think I was just in denial going into it. So when the inevitable occurred, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. It was just, I can't say it was unexpected, but it still hurts. That's what it boils down to. It still just hurts. So, anyway, how's that for a happy show, folks? But again, I just wanted to explain why, I might seem a little down. Hopefully not. But that's out there. So,
Yeah.
sharing what's going on in my life, folks.
Well, cats are people too.
They are. Yeah. And I did tell you before the show too. My boss was very classy because I had planned on working because I'm like that. And again, just it kind of blindsided me. So I ended up taking Monday off because I was just kind of a mess. What a shitty waste of a day off too, I might say. Because I basically cried, gabbed with Mick, and kind of spaced out is what I said. We were like zombies. I think we were just in shock. And I know it sounds like a lot of fun. It just wasn't though.
Yeah. Yeah, all that glamour.
Yeah, we were just mourning is basically it. But
Yeah.
I saw email. My boss had asked, do you mind if I tell everybody? And I'm like, no, have at. What do I care?
Yeah.
And my boss is nothing but classy, and he sent out an email that said something to the effect of, Sean and Mick had to put down a cat that they've had for 20 years, and it was a cherished family member. And I just bawled when I saw it because I'm like, that cat entirely was a cherished family member, is a cherished family member, and it's just, that's how I feel about it. So, good stuff, And it's just the way it works. So again, not to be a bummer, just want to share what's going on in my life, and that's a monumental thing. It both sucked, and on one hand, yes, this week has been brutal. But boy, 20 years of loving that cat, man.
Yeah.
And believe me, I'm all the shit of that cat. Love that thing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, like you said, I think it's still. Would you do it again?
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, entirely will. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I'd love a house without cat hair over everything. That doesn't smell like cat pee on occasion, things like that. Not having to steam clean constantly. I would love these things.
Yeah.
But when I do the risk reward kind of thing, the return on investment, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Those things are so great. They're just so much love. And they're going to break your heart.
Yeah. Now I have a cat myself that needs eye drops every single day. In fact, as it turns out from seeing the doctor, sometimes I like to skip a day or stuff like that in the past. It just can't be done. This cat needs multiple eye drops a day, which pretty much means I'm not going on vacation while this cat's alive.
Wow.
It's done. Maybe I go away for a day here and there, but not more than that.
Wow.
Because as it turns out, if the cat missed too many drops, she is in pain.
Oh
from
yeah.
the pressure.
So yep.
Yeah.
So that's not happening.
So I'm like, yeah. So Charlize is planning some vacation for herself soon.
Nice.
Once this COVID thing is over, but I'm taking care of this cat.
I was gonna say COVID's working in your favor.
It's kind of helped out, especially when she had her eye removed a few months back.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, I don't have to take off work,
Yeah, I know, right? It's
And I would have taken off work for the cat.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she looks so much better though without that. She really does. She looks happier.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's no vacations it's rough.
Yeah. No vacation sucks. I'm weird. I like it when I'm on vacation, but I hate thinking about it. I hate planning for it.
I don't do much. I
hate the travel part of it.
Oh, travel's horrible.
Yeah, I hate the travel.
No,
part
people
of
always
it.
say that to me. They're like, "Oh, you love to travel. You go all over." I'm like, I fucking hate travel.
Yeah.
I love being different places.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Getting there is a nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not. Yeah, I think after a while, maybe a couple years go by, and it might really bother me. But this COVID thing is way worse anyway. So I don't know. I'd rather be with her than go on vacation. If that makes any sense.
Absolutely.
I'd rather take care of her.
Yep.
Because I'll feel better, and I can't leave her alone.
Yeah, and you can't have her suffering. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
She needs me.
How old is she?
She's 14, 15, something like that.
Wow, she's an old
Yeah,
kitty
she's
too.
starting
Yeah.
to get up there. Yeah.
I'll be honest, I didn't even know cats lived that long. I thought they lived like 10 years.
Outdoor cats, the lifespan's like 7-year average.
Yeah. Well, I grew up with cats, and the majority were outdoors, so that's
Yeah.
why I was like, yeah, an old cat is like 10 years old.
Yeah. No, I think generally 18 to 20 is pretty average.
It's pretty nuts.
Yeah. I think there's some like 25, 30-year-old cats somewhere in the
Oh,
earth.
jeez.
They exist, but they all look. Every time you see a picture of them, they always look grumpy. Like,
Oh, I know
life
that.
sucks.
That's entirely why I relate to him.
yeah,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like, this is too long.
I love those Grumpy Cat
They always look
things.
so angry.
Grumpy Cat had a play on the State Farm thing, like a good neighbor State Farm is there, but
Yeah.
with Grumpy Cat, it was like a good neighbor, stay over there.
Stay over there. Yes.
It's like, goddamn, I relate.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
So, before I get into the what are we watching and stuff, because I have a shit ton to talk about there, and I know you do too. Well, I suppose it's what are you watching? So let's jump right into that, buddy. You said you had a story about Penny Dreadful of some kind.
Yeah, so we finished the first season of Penny Dreadful, which I actually thoroughly enjoyed. It took a
I
couple
like
episodes to get going.
Yep.
But once it did, my wife and I were making guesses, and I'm like, this guy's going to be a werewolf. We knew. We called it from the beginning. We knew he was, because everyone had the little special power.
Yep.
But the final episode, there was a conversation that happened between, what's her name? The woman. I forget her name. Anyways, the main girl.
The main girl, yeah. I vaguely remember. It was a while ago we watched it.
Yeah, so she was talking to a priest because she was like filled with demons and stuff. So she was speaking with the priest, and the reason why this is interesting because you and I have had this same conversation. It's a funny as hell. It's like I've had this conversation with Sean, and they're having the conversation.
Am I the demon or the priest in this story? How's that work?
It's weird, but you're the priest.
Wow, yeah, we're definitely going into sci-fi now.
Yeah.
So yeah, what was the conversation?
So you're the priest.
Definitely don't recall.
So she was like, I don't know if she was trying to join the Catholic Church, but somehow exorcism came up, and he just looked at her and goes, "Well, we don't know, basically going to totally paraphrase because I don't remember every word here. So basically he was saying, when a demon possesses you, it is like a backhand from God. So in a way, you're kind of blessed. So, we can go keep it on this road if you want to, and try to get rid of this demon. But do you really want to be like everybody else?
Nice.
And I'm like, I've had this conversation, and then right, and this is true. And it goes, and she was about ready to say whether she wanted to be like everybody else or wanted to be, exercise the demons, and the episode just stopped.
Yeah, that's
and that was
great.
the end of the season.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
And I thought that was well written. That was well written.
Nice
and
hook.
I've had that conversation.
That's fantastic. Yeah, and I implore everybody, you don't want to be like everyone else. That's the beauty of all of this. That's the beauty of free will. Is that you can do whatever the hell you want. Nobody knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Everyone is making it up. And just be kind. That's the only rule.
I think I'm smart enough to kind of psychoanalyze myself a little bit because I know I'm weird. Is that when you're young and you're weird, everyone makes fun of you for being so weird. So you spend your childhood trying to be more normal to fit in, and it makes it worse because I can never be normal.
People come out of the rain when you're strange. That's all I can think. All I can think of is the Doors when you're strange. But
when you're strange.
To me, the most horrific thing in the world would be, wow, you're just like everyone else.
Yeah.
To what end, then? What purpose do you serve? Why would you want to be like everyone else?
No, it's just one of those things that kind of got beaten into me, and I've always strived to be more normal, and I will never succeed at it. I'm not capable of being normal.
I hope that's true.
I'm too weird.
I hope that's true, and you are weird AF, and I thoroughly respect that and appreciate that.
When I try to be normal, it comes off as weird.
When you try, it's awkward when you try to be normal. Yeah, actually, I've been around that, and it's awkward for everybody, not just you, buddy.
Yeah. It's like an episode I was watching The Monk, because I still watch The Monk, where he has like some cards he's going and he's working at an office job for a day and he loved it because it's like the same routine and he had a gang and he was like all excited and stuff and he would say, "Oh, they're talking about football," and he goes, "Did you see the game last night?" And he
Oh,
was like,
that's
"What?"
great.
It was a great episode.
He had talking points.
And then he was totally messed up at the end because he's trying to be human and normal and he can't. And he walked away and goes, "They're laughing, aren't they? They always laugh."
Oh, that's awesome.
So I relate to Monk too because he's weird.
Yeah, see, that's where I'm somewhat disconnected because, I mean, my thought is, one, you gotta be you. Whether you want to be or not, you kind of have to be you.
Yeah.
And that's going to come out no matter what you do. The fundamental essence of you
Yeah.
is just always there and it's always going to come out. Now, you can guide and shape you, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, there's some core essence that is you that's probably not ever going to change. But
Yeah.
why on God's green earth would you want that to be just like everyone else? To
Yeah.
me, that is the biggest waste because you've been given this gift, and I know sometimes it seems like a shitty gift, but you don't look a
Yeah.
gift horse in the mouth and
Yeah.
you try to appreciate it and again, there's no rules. Be kind would be a rule. That's a good one.
Yeah.
But, nobody really has it down. There's no guide anywhere that says this is how you're supposed to live your life. This is how you should be. And honestly, we don't even know how we should be. It's like the best of our knowledge thing. So social norms, they're social norms today. 100 years from now, we're going to look back and think they're barbaric. Just like when we look back at the tradition from 100 years ago, they're barbaric.
Yeah.
Even knowing that, we're not going to be able to see it. But that's why I think it's so important that we dare to be different because that's how you move society. That's how you push that needle forward.
Yeah.
That's how we as a species, how the tribe grows and learns. And when I say grow, I don't mean in population. We got that figured out. But but I mean from
I wouldn't know.
a learning perspective. Actually, technically, I wouldn't know either. I don't have kids. That's great. But boy, that was a freaking rabbit hole, huh? Where did that come from?
It was Penny Dreadful.
But yeah, I can't say it enough though, dude.
yeah.
Don't be normal. That sucks.
So that being said, I did enjoy the first season of Penny Dreadful. I like the
Good.
nice combination of vampires and the Frankenstein, and and the short-lived what was it? Who was the guy that was hunting Dracula?
Oh, I want to say Alucard, but no, that's not right.
What was his name?
His name definitely wasn't Simon Belmont either.
Yeah.
It was Van Helsing.
Van Helsing, yeah. So Van Helsing was in there for like 30 seconds. Like he was awesome. And I love him. Played by David Warner. I don't remember Van Helsing's name, but I remember the actor who played him, David
I was
Warner.
going to say, yeah, I probably know David Warner from Thousand Things, and I have no idea who it is.
Tron's nemesis.
Oh, love Tron's nemesis.
David
Sark.
Warner.
See,
Sark.
he'd be Sark forever.
Sark.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, he's Jack the Ripper because he played in a great movie called Time After Time.
Yeah,
and he was
I remember
Jack
that.
the Ripper.
I don't know if that was a great movie, but it was. I remember that movie.
Well, I thought Mary Steenburgen was in it, and I thought she was hot back then.
Actually, this one will blow your mind. Sark was, I want to say he was Cratchit.
Oh yes, in one of the
it's what I call the Patton,
yeah.
the George C. Scott
George C.
Christmas Carol,
yeah,
which
yeah.
might be my favorite, by the way.
It might be because David Warner. David Warner, I think he's awesome. He's been in a lot of things.
Now, I made you watch it, and I know it was cheesy.
It was cheesy,
But
which
I
like
mean
cheese.
the Patrick Stewart
Yeah.
Christmas Carol.
I did watch it.
Patrick Stewart's fucking awesome. I mean, it was a little cheesy, but it's Christmas, and
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I can't wait. We're gonna be talking Christmas soon, and
Yeah.
guilty admission.
Yeah.
I needed it this week. I won't lie. I entirely was listening to some Christmas music this week. But you have to understand my Christmas music. I can't wait till we talk about this. First of all, you have to understand I love Christmas. Absolutely love it. I should also throw in there, I am not a Christian.
It's weird.
I practice nothing.
Yes.
I don't believe in Catholicism. I just love the story, and I love the music. So I'm going to be talking a lot about it. But when as I told my boss, because my boss was, I told my boss guilty pleasure or guilty admission. I'm listening to Christmas music. Mine's like church, or at least I theorize that. I've never actually been to church other than a wedding or a funeral. So It's
Oh, like the Mormon tabernacle
yeah,
stuff,
you've
and
heard it's
yeah,
choir music, and I find it
yeah,
very soothing to my soul.
yeah,
So I won't be rocking around the Christmas tree until I won't be listening to that kind of Christmas music until we're way closer to
yeah,
Christmas. But I won't lie, periodically throughout the year, I mean, like it'll be July sometimes, and I'll be
yeah.
like, you know what, my soul needs some soothing, and I'll listen to some of that, and it helps.
Well, I am from the Midwest, so I sang unto my Lord throughout my entire childhood. So that
Nice.
was the way it, and I didn't grow I grew up Protestant, so there was a lot more singing in a Protestant church
I
than in
love
a
the
Catholic
singing.
church.
Oh,
Lots of singing.
if I ever convert to anything, folks, I think it's going to be Southern Baptist because I want to feel Jesus and I want to
Yeah,
sing about it, and I
yeah.
love. I'm not mocking religion or anyone
Mm,
else at this time. I love the music. The Southern Baptist
yeah,
music's so good to me. That soul gospel music is
yeah,
so good, and I can see why it touches people's soul because it is soulful and it is like that's my thing. If you're gonna believe, you're gonna believe. You know me. I'm balls to
yeah,
the wall or not at all. Like
yeah,
don't half-ass anything, and that's why I don't have any organized religion because I can't make that leap. I wish I could,
yeah.
but anywho, um,
What were we talking about?
Penny Dreadful, believe it
Oh
or
yeah,
not,
Penny Dreadful. That's
good. It
a,
was good though. I like the show.
yeah. So we started watching the second season, and it looks like it's only like three seasons,
It was
maybe
short.
four. Yeah, it was, and there was only like 10 episodes in the first season. So I don't know if the rest are like that, but
I think so.
easy to watch. Definitely a good October show to watch.
Yep.
Is a little over top in some of the gore that they had, but you know, Dorian Gray. I don't know. I thought it was a very interesting character. So actually, yeah, I'm kind of like,
I like that. And the picture, dude.
yeah, yeah. So you know what's happening when he goes and look at the picture, and you can't see what it looks like, but it's
Well,
getting corrupted. Like the story.
I like that they're telling people that too. Like you and I see that. Like you knew who Dorian Gray was when you saw him, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like you knew the story of Dorian Gray.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
We
I
had to
don't
read that
think.
in high school or something.
Well, I was gonna
Yeah,
say. I think isn't that nerd knowledge though? I don't know
yeah,
if people like the common bear knows that.
yeah,
So I think it introduces some of these ancient folklore or mythology.
yeah,
It kind of brings it to the masses, and I love that. Like everybody knows the werewolf kind of creature.
yeah,
But the Dorian Grays are a little more obscure, things like that. You
yeah.
know, but
Yeah, so I find the show kind of fun, and especially some of the relationships, and and I like the what's that? The what they call him, the hot guy. That was voted like one of the hottest guys ever, who plays the werewolf guy.
I don't remember. It's been too
Yeah,
long. He's voted one of the hottest guys ever.
yeah, I
I don't
know.
know what's
I
more.
don't know who votes that.
I'm kind of disturbed that you would even know that. Who else was voted one
Um,
of the hottest guys ever?
I
I
think
know
Mel Gibson was
I,
once.
I didn't. I didn't make the list. I'm
You
quite
didn't make the
certain of that.
Penny
I'm quite
Dreadful.
certain. I was not on that list.
Josh Hartnett. They used to call him Josh
Oh,
Heartthrob.
actually, Josh Hartnett. I gotta say, the dude doesn't act at all. He
No,
entirely plays the shit out of Josh
yes,
Hartnett, and it turns out I love Josh Hartnett. Yeah, the dude's
yeah.
fucking great.
Yeah, you don't see him in much, but I think he's good.
There was a movie you'd like actually he was in. I
Yeah.
want to say it was called Bunraku or something like that. It was something weird. I'll have to look it up for you, but you would enjoy it. It was I don't know how you describe it. Um, yeah, look at his movies actually. There's one like Bunranku or something. And I don't even know how you describe the movie, but I will definitely. Yeah, that's the
He
one.
played. His name was the Drifter.
He did play the Drifter. You'd like that movie. You should check that out. It's a fun little action movie. But yeah, I like Josh Hartnett. He he's one of my top 10 hottest guys.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
I don't know. They used to call him Josh Heartthrob for some reason. I
Um,
don't know.
No, I just like the character. You
Yeah.
ever see Lucky Number 11?
No.
Great movie. Josh Hartnett playing Josh Hartnett. Like I'm
He
sure he
plays
had
that.
another name, but he plays the shit out of himself, and he's great.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
I didn't think he was in a lot, but according to his IMDb page, he's been in a lot.
I wasn't blown away by Sin City. I wanted to be, and it just wasn't.
Oh, that wasn't my thing either.
No, I wanted it to be good. It just wasn't.
Yeah, that wasn't my thing. I guess it
Um,
wasn't that many. Actually, in the scheme of things, there's not that many stuff that he's been in. So, but I did like him in Penny Dreadful, and I liked his character, and I liked his attitude.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the whole point, yeah, because he played Josh Hartnett.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, watch him in anything. He plays exactly that character. He's exactly that dude, and that dude's awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, because there's a scene where I think his dad wants him back in America.
yep, I remember. Yep,
And he kind of let him off with the pass the first time, but the second time they didn't let him off. He didn't let him off,
yep.
and that was pretty cool. So yeah,
It's I'm telling you, everything I've seen him in, he plays exactly that character. Very
that's
likable
awesome. Likeable guy. So yes, Penny Dreadful I do recommend if you don't mind a little bit of gore. You know.
Yeah, I
But,
enjoyed it. It's once again, I want to say that was an HBO or a Showtime or
yeah.
one of those Cinemax, one of those.
Yeah.
They just, I I think it just boils down to budget. Superior set designs, costumes in that one specifically, and they understand this basic principle: you pay your writers.
Yeah.
That is what I love about those. They're just such a higher quality production that I'm not kidding. I would rather watch the worst HBO show than the best one on primetime.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna enjoy that HBO one even better.
Yeah.
So yeah, Penny. I want to say it was Showtime. I can't remember. It's
Yeah, I
all a
don't
blur
remember.
after a while. But anyway,
Yeah.
so what else are you watching, buddy?
Well, obviously I'm watching some Monk. Oh, and so I watched a movie last night called Hellraiser. I've seen it before. And the movie, if you haven't seen it in a while,
Long time.
the movie is kind of, it's actually funnier than I
Nice.
would have remembered, because one, the story is really simple in the first one, so I can see why we probably both enjoyed the second one more than the first one, and I think it's because when you watch the first one, you realize that Pinhead was in the movie probably a total of 2.5 minutes
Yeah, not even. Yep.
tops. He said a couple great lines,
Yep.
It was such pleasure to show you, and you called us, and it's a couple lines. That's it, But then they had the demon guy, Frank, who is slowly coming back, being nursed
Yeah.
back to life, and Julia. See, I just watched it, so I actually know the people's names in the show.
I know who you speak of. Yep.
So every time he was like stuck in a body, which is I kept on thinking about the Drew Barrymore show.
No, yeah.
Where he
That's
needs
funny.
a fresh body to to stay alive. He always said the same thing: "Look away."
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "I've never seen such a shy monster."
Oh, that's
where
fantastic.
every time he was going to kill someone, he would say, "Look away."
All I can think of is freaking Melissa McCarthy and Bridesmaids.
Oh yeah,
Look
yeah.
away!
Look away! Look away! Don't look
away!
away! Look away! So I was laughing during the scenes, and there's just some funny scenes in the show. It just like
That's great.
I didn't
So it
really.
didn't hold up.
I think it's goodish, but it
Yeah.
feels like a short story. It's
Okay.
really a short movie. Literally, the movie is, they move into a house
trying to
and
remember
they
it.
drop the father cuts himself, some blood goes on the floor. Frank comes back, Julie discovers him, brings a couple bodies. Then the daughter finds the puzzle box, throws out the window, steals it. She finds a demon, says, "Oh, I can, bring Frank back to you," and he goes, "I'll tear your soul apart if you're, lying or whatever." And that was his third line the whole entire movie. And
Nice.
and they go back to the house. They had a little weird hide and seek game for a second, and then they like, "Oh, come to Uncle Frank," and then that's when he did the Jesus wept scene.
Yeah.
And that was that whole, and the dragon showed up and took the box. Literally, I just told the entire plot of the movie. There was nothing different. There's nothing
awesome.
else besides that. That was it. And I'm sure the book by Clive Barker, Hellbound Heart, which I have, believe it or not, and I've read it. I'm sure it's way more involved, but the movie must have just chopped it all up into.
Well, I was gonna say that's funny. I couldn't remember the Hellbound. I wanted to say it was called the Damnation Game.
Oh.
But I can't remember. It's been too long, and I was trying to remember, was that an actual book or a short story?
No, there was a book, and it wasn't a real long book. I remember that book too had a weird cover too, and it looked like a heart with like a face on it or something. I have
Nice.
the book. So
Still trying to figure out how to use it?
yeah, no, I've actually read the book. I used to read. I just haven't read lately. I used to read all the time, but I read some Clive Barker and Dean Kuntz. I used to be in him.
Clive
as well.
Barker, I think I told you the story,
yeah.
but I read Clive Barker because I was into Stephen King at the time. I was reading those kinds of books.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, man, I read Clive Barker and I was like, oh my God, hallelujah. Like, Stephen who?
Yeah, Stephen Who.
I never looked back.
Yeah, this was quite more gory than anything that Stephen King ever did, but
Oh, the dude's, there's something wrong.
yeah.
There's something wrong with that
Wrong.
dude.
Yeah, Clive Barker's messed up in the head.
I think I'm not kidding. I have not read all of his stuff, but I'm probably 80%. I mean, I've read some of his plays. I've read
Yeah.
a lot of his stuff.
He's Canadian, by the way. So yeah, did I hate the movie? No. But what made the movie great, and I can't say who told me this, but she goes, "Who are those creatures called again? The Mennonites?"
That's awesome.
So I'm not allowed to say who's told me that.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious, but I'm not allowed to mention. I actually was forbidden for mentioning who told me that.
That's great.
It was the cat.
Yeah, let's puzzle that one out.
Yeah.
I'm going to work on that over here.
So-
Luckily, I have a pen.
I think it was cute and
Yeah.
not embarrassing, but I go from now on they're the Mennonites.
Absolutely, the
Yeah,
Mennonites.
the Mennonites.
Yeah, they're fucking scary.
In the movie they're called Cenobites.
Close enough.
Which when I told her that, it was a girl.
Oh my God.
When I told her that,
Narrowing it down.
she's like, "That's dumb."
Yeah. The Mennonites was already taken, as it turns out.
Yeah, as it turns out, it's the Mennonites. So the Mennonites will tear your soul apart.
Oh my.
So I did like that, and I had to share because it was awesome. Call them Mennonites.
That is awesome.
So
it's
worth watching.
would you
but-
recommend it to someone who hasn't seen it? Because like me, I'd get the nostalgia kick out of it, so it's worth me watching again in this lifetime just because I will remember. But to somebody who's never seen it,
To me, I would say it's required viewing to get to Hellraiser Part 2.
Okay, I got you.
So because it kind of, if you treat like a mini series, like
Yep.
this is Hellraiser 1 and 2 is all one bookend, and they really do continue right after each other with same characters, it's worth watching.
Okay, that makes sense. No, that's a good description. I like that.
And I haven't seen Hellraiser 3, and from what I read, it's still some of the same characters, so I've never seen that
That's
one.
interesting. No, I somehow dropped off after 2.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of other movies, like Hellraiser in Space.
I know.
Hellraiser, yeah,
That's
in
all I can
space.
think.
So I'm skipping those, but I'm actually going to watch Hellraiser 2 and 3 before Halloween.
I have the perfect mental image
Yeah.
of Pinhead
Yeah.
with the nails
Yeah.
and then the space helmet over that.
Yeah, it's an extra large helmet, so the pins can fit. Yes, this is a special helmet. This better fit, or I'll tear your soul apart.
Exactly. Yeah. That's awesome. But hey, man, Pinhead in space. Somebody made a buck.
Yeah.
I hope at that point, Clive Barker, you're like, God damn it, you know what? I've got enough money.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, did I like the movie? Yes, but I like it. It wasn't super cheese. The special effects were actually better than I remember. The skin stuff was terrible.
Yeah.
But the dragon at the end, I thought it was going to be really terrible. Actually, they did a pretty good job. They did a smart thing. They showed the dragon, then cut away, and you heard it fly away.
Nice.
I'm like, okay, that was smart. You didn't show that it was complete
I'll be
garbage.
honest, I don't even remember the dragon.
It's like 2 seconds. This guy was walking around like this homeless guy would show up in the pet store and eat like grasshoppers and whatever.
Yeah.
And you didn't know who this homeless guy was, and then he shows up when she put the cube in the fire, and he walks into the fire, picks it up, and turns into a dragon. And the dragon, to be more specific, was
one
just a
does.
skeleton of the dragon.
Yeah.
So it was a naked dragon. So
It's awesome. A bone dragon.
and then so you heard it fly away, but you didn't actually see it fly away.
Okay. Yep.
And that was, and you saw from its perspective, and then it went back into, I don't know, some way in the India or wherever it originally came from, with the guy giving the box to somebody else.
Yep.
So that's how it ended. So it's good, but it could have, I wish whatever was in the book they cut out. This could have. I wish I had the time to put it in the movie.
Well, you ever see Nightbreed?
Long time ago, yes, the vampire movie, yeah.
No, not a vampire movie.
Oh, not Nightbreed. There's another movie called Breed something.
There's Clive Barker Night. I'm pretty certain it's Nightbreed. And
Nightbreed. I thought that was a vampire movie.
it was a monster movie, but definitely not a vampire. I'm pretty certain I got the right name of it. I believe the name of the book was Cabal, which I thought was way cooler.
Oh.
But most people probably don't know where the Cabal, so they're like Nightbreed it is.
Yeah, I thought that was a vampire movie. In fact, the cover.
Can I see it?
I mean, yeah, I guess they're
Entirely
but
not
I thought,
entirely right movie.
I thought the
but,
main guy was a vampire or something.
he was a weird thing. He'd get these weird runes on him
Yeah.
and on his skin, and like it was. But the whole premise was it was just, and it was cheesy as hell the way it was done.
Yeah.
Like everything about it was cheesy, but the story was so fundamentally pure and good that I still ended up liking it, even though the story. This goes for almost everything. The book's better.
Yeah.
But the basic premise in that is the monster was the same monster in every other movie. It was the regular human beings. The monsters were just
Oh.
being persecuted and killed for no real
That
reason.
sounds like another story I know.
Like our history as a species.
I Am Legend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was one of those.
Oh, either I Am Legend, where we're the actual monsters,
Or
That's what
or
it's called.
the history of the
everyone
human
else.
race.
All of
yeah.
humans.
All of
That's what I was
humanity.
Ba-da-ba-ba. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, not for nothing, guys. So let's face it. What do humans do better than anybody?
Yeah,
We
kill.
kill things.
Wow, that's what we're bred for.
That's why we are the top of the food chain.
Yes.
Um, so, boy, see what I meant, guys? This is why I told you about my cat.
Yeah, we're going to dark places now.
We really seem to be.
Yes.
So what else are you watching, buddy?
I think that's
Wow.
it.
Last time you were just like
Oh.
you'd gone through like 50 movies and like 4 TV shows.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I think that's all I've been watching. Yeah, to be honest with you.
Well, we've only been watching one show, and I have to say let me get the good out of the way. It's 7 seasons long, and it was great background noise. We're almost done. We're in the last season, thank God. And that is the 100. I'd mentioned it before.
Yeah.
And they have a neat little premise. The problem is, and I'd mentioned already that it's a FI because they just don't give two shits about science. I've never witnessed such bad writing, ever. Like, it is epic. It's almost so bad it's good. Like, it blows my mind. Like, just to give an example of I'm going to call them paradoxes, because the story just stops making sense because it's like the writers just ran out of fuck sometime like 4 or 5 seasons ago. You would go nuts. I almost want to watch you watch this show.
Yeah.
Because you would be throwing things because they do not care about science whatsoever. Just a blatant disregard, almost a hostility towards science. And it would drive you insane.
Yeah,
But
that would bother me.
there's one scene where this, we'll just say mother, for lack of a better term. You got this girl, Clark, if anybody watches the show. Clark's worried about her daughter. I can't remember her daughter's name. It's not really her daughter, but we're going to say it's her daughter anyway. And it's one of those, you're not going anywhere because it's not safe. I'm your mother kind of thing. You're not going anywhere. Literally 2 minutes later, mom is like, you know what? Why don't you go take out the bad guys, and I'm going to go in the other direction to take out these other bad guys.
Oh.
And I literally had Mickles pause it. I'm like, wasn't she just saying like it's not safe, you can't go anywhere? And now it's not only is it safe, you go to where the bad guys are alone. Within 2 minutes, with just no real explanation as to what changed.
It's like they had two different writers and they didn't compare notes.
Yeah, it's just, and that's just an example.
Yeah.
Shit like this happens all the time where it's like they're like, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I almost think when someone gets killed now, like they're just going to show up because, fuck it, why not?
Yeah. In the last episode, it was all a dream.
Yeah, just whatever. But that's the thing. They wouldn't even take the time to tell you it's a dream. They'd be like,
Yeah.
whatever, they're back. So, yeah, just nonsense after nonsense. So that being said, it's been good background noise.
Yeah.
And I will say that it has let me get a little bit of gaming in. So that's what I like about the show right now.
Yeah.
It's let me get a little bit of
Gaming.
So, yeah. So I got to say, I don't recommend it, but it's good background noise. We're on I'll put it this way. We're in season 7, and there's like 2 characters that are okay, but I don't care about anybody.
Yeah.
The main character is going to give less of a shit about.
It's a multitasker show. Yeah.
Yep, it entirely is. So, all right, buddy, what are you playing, man?
What I'm playing is, I finished that one game last week. What game I finished last week? It was
Not Death Stranding.
Evil Within 2.
Oh, Evil Within 2.
So I finished Evil Within. So I want to stay in the horror theme. So I started up Metro Exodus.
Okay, yeah.
Which
is that the one I played?
No, there's a
Okay.
new game. You probably played. There was Metro 2033, and there was Metro Part 2, whatever it was called.
Yeah, I don't remember what I played, but yeah, I played one of them.
Yeah. So this is the third one, and it only came out in the last this year. It's a newer one.
Way too rich for my blood.
Yeah, so I probably paid $40 for it or whatever. Yeah.
It is a horror game.
So yes. So I'll start by saying the game is beautiful, and the game is what I found the first 2 games they were pretty linear, but you could still get lost in it because they didn't really tell you where to go. Yeah, so that's
You know I can get lost.
Yeah, so I didn't find that I could get lost in a linear game. So they decided in this version to be an open world. So you can pretty much, you can't go anywhere you want in the whole world, but in this area you can go just about and do anything in order you want.
Okay.
And it kind of looks like Fallout 3 but modern graphics. So it kind of has that feel to it,
That's pretty cool.
So it's very cool looking. Is the
Ooh,
game fun?
sensing a butt. Yeah.
Yeah, it's get a solid Meh plus. Meh plus.
Nah.
It's okay. I want to see if the story gets better, but right now just a lot of like, hop on a boat, row for like 2 seconds, go on an island, climb out, fight a couple monsters, find some people, sneak around. A lot of sneaking in the game.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'll get back to it. So I got bored with that. So I felt like, I was watching YouTube videos and I was like, you know what? I need to go back into VR. I miss VR because I really do like VR. And I modded up, I cleaned up, and I made sure it was perfect. Start a fresh, brand new game of Fallout 4 VR.
Oh, nice. Who are you helping?
What's that?
Who are you gonna help?
I don't know who I'm going to help this time, but I'm going to start with the Brotherhood because you have to start with the Brotherhood at first, even if you betray them, because you get the castle as your home base.
Yeah, yeah.
And I have a mod that cleans up the castle grounds, so it'll be easier to create walls and stuff. So I'm not playing the game because I want to complete it. I'm playing the game because I decided that I want to do some major building
Nice.
in the game. So I'm not going to play the main storyline really much at all. I'm going to build the best base ever.
Nice.
So that's literally what I do. But I was playing it, and it's been out for a while, and I got the new Index headset. So I'm like, there's got to be some, settings I can set so it looks better, plays better. And I followed all the instructions I could find on the Reddit and interwebs. And I get in there and I'm like, oh, this is beautiful.
Nice.
And it just is a well-made game. And
That's a great game, yeah.
And the best thing, this is stupid. The best thing best mod I'm running is one that fixes the dialogue options instead of saying one word dialogue options, which I hated in the game.
Yeah.
It's like, you couldn't tell. They actually list this whole sentence.
Oh, nice.
And it's made for VR. I'm using actual VR specific mods.
Yep.
So it looks great on the screen. They fixed the scope, so when you go to shoot somebody, you look down in the scope, all of a sudden your whole screen is nothing but the scope.
Nice.
And you shoot people's heads off. I mean, come on.
Never ceases to be. I actually got to go back to those games because, one I did buy 3 on GOG. I have it on Steam. Don't bother.
Yeah.
Don't waste your time, folks.
No.
Buy it on
Crash a
Good Old
lot.
Games. Yep.
Yeah, Captain Crash a lot.
It made it borderline unplayable.
Yeah.
But Good Old Games, it'll work, and that's a great game. 4 I played the shit out of because
it was stable.
Didn't crash.
Yeah, it didn't crash.
It the graphics. Yeah, 4 definitely looks way better than 3, but I'll be honest, that didn't do it for. I mean, it was nice, but it wasn't. It didn't put it that far above a 3 for me.
No.
It was just the fact that it was finally stable for me. I was like, oh my god, this is so much better.
Yeah.
But in a lot of regards, honestly, 3, I could make the argument 3 is a better game.
Definitely had some, especially at first. The very first time you ever play the game, you can't I wish you could forget the game.
Yeah, and play it
and
again.
come out of the vault again for the first time.
I know, it's fun.
And it actually, they did a genius thing where you're blinded when it first came out, and everything slowly comes into focus.
Yep, I love that.
That was just well done.
They're just great games, and their use of music is genius.
Oh, great, yeah.
But both those games are phenomenal. I know we've talked about them before.
But there's something about the VR, and it's so clear now, because... I have 3 headsets because I'm obsessed with VR technology.
You are?
And if I'd go back, I wouldn't have purchased a second one because it was a marginal improvement.
Yeah.
But the set I have now, the Index, it's so much better than my first one. So much clearer, and I can't wait to see what comes out next.
Yeah.
Because the new video cards are coming out. That's how the technology kind of goes. It depends what video cards and CPUs are coming out. Then they can make the better VR headsets that is capable of running 2 tiny screens, both 120 frames per second.
Yeah.
So you need a really decent computer to play these things. But just walking around, I can't get over it. I've said this before. Just launching the game and just walking around.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, this is amazing in VR.
Yep.
Sky's so blue, and then I'm like, normal when you play the game, like when you first start the game, you're doing your character creation. And when you're playing it without a PC, you see the person's head and stuff like that, and you can't do anything. In VR, they don't lock you down. You can just you're in the beginning of the game, you're just looking around and checking out the room, and it's like wherever you point your head, that's what you're looking at.
Oh, yeah.
And that is something you can't replicate it with a 2D screen.
The way it trips your brain up to that sense of space is amazing to me.
Yeah, it feels so wide open, you know.
Oh yeah.
And this is lame. So I have a fan next to me where I sit, and I purposely turn it on before I get into VR because when I'm outside, I can feel a breeze,
Oh, that's great.
and it really feels like I'm outside.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I don't like going outside in real life, but in VR, I'll go outside all
You've
day.
simulated it.
Yeah, I've
Yes.
simulated perfectly. It's
It's
great.
great.
Yeah, going outside, I can shoot things. It's great.
Yep.
So I'm a big fan of Fallout 4 VR. I think
I like both those games. I mean,
it's finally, I think it's starting to get worth buying VR. I don't think it was worth it like 2 years ago, but now they're starting to come out with games for it and you're not just getting Bethesda money.
yeah, I have no doubt I will have VR eventually, but I just don't.
Oh, if you wait long enough, you'll be able to take this one from me.
Well, that's the thing. Well, yeah, I'm just outweighing you. Um,
Yeah.
it's not to the point where it's like, holy crap, gotta have that.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, and if I just outweigh you, if I just weigh you out, which won't be hard, yeah, I'll have like 12 of them before I know it.
Yeah, because
You'll just keep buying them every 2 years or a year, whatever.
yeah, 'cause I can't help it because I'm looking for the perfect experience and it's close. It's so silly. It's like a TV set. I like what I have now, but they switched to LCD screen instead of OLED, and I miss the dark blacks of the older generation. Although the graphics are better in this version, so it's not. It's a little washed out, even though it's better looking. If that makes any
No,
sense.
I know exactly what you've shown me actually,
Yeah.
so that's why I know exactly what you
Yeah.
mean.
So I'm waiting for the better TV set. So once they come out with this resolution, with this FPS and refresh rate, and it's OLED, I don't care if it's $2,000. I'll probably buy it.
No, your TV now is freaking beautiful TV.
Yeah, it's old. It's only 1080p. I can't live like this.
It's awesome. You're living in the Stone Age.
Well, that's what I was picking up games though. They said the next phase of gaming is upon us because, like TVs, for a while the 4x3 was the norm, and then widescreen became the norm, and then it went to 1080p became the norm, and now it's 4K gaming is going to be so every game's being made that's coming out is being made to be able to play in 4K.
4K, yeah.
So that's going to become the norm now for all games and all computer systems. All the new game systems coming out is 4K. So this is going to look like garbage in 5 years from now.
Oh, absolutely.
This will be the low end of a 1080p screen.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting that we're now on that precipice of it's time for the newer, better graphics.
Well, yeah, we just made another leap basically
Yeah.
with these graphics cards.
Yeah.
And AMD, I saw just released their flavors.
They have so here's the thing. Yeah.
Sounds like they're going to be able to hold their own at a fraction of the cost.
At the fraction of the cost, and if you actually get the Ryzen CPU with it, they can actually increase another 10 to 12%
Nice.
with if actually using their. So for the longest time, I always said, and you asked me one time, what's the best video card with the best CPU with the best gaming? And for the longest time, it's like you get the Intel, you get the Nvidia, but now the story's changing, and I'm glad because you need competition in this space.
Yep.
Because Intel's been kind of resting on its laurels, not really innovating. Nvidia's been doing a pretty good job, but they charge an arm and a leg, and
Yep.
and it's hard to get their stuff right now.
I am an NVIDIA guy, though, I have to say.
But
What's inside?
yeah, what's inside? But they have, they're coming back pretty hard. They got all the ray tracing, all that stuff in the new AMD
saw
stuff,
that.
and I'm waiting for the reviews. I don't think anyone can get a physical one for another 3 weeks.
Yep.
But the guy I watched, Linus Tech, he's Linus Tech, I think. Yeah, Linus Tech. It's not Linus Torvalds.
Oh,
from
okay. I
Linux.
was going to ask.
It's Linus Tech.
I've read his autobiography,
He's
by the way. Go figure.
He's awesome. He said, wait 3 weeks. He goes, I'm a big fan of NVIDIA, but wait 3 weeks. Let us review and see really is as good
Yeah.
as the top end NVIDIA.
Oh, yeah. Of
Less
course.
power consumption, so it'll be cooler. So it might be awesome. Because I do want to build a
We'll
computer
see.
at some point because I want to be able to run my VR better.
Yep.
Because even the VR headset I have now, I can't crank it all the settings all the way up.
Mhm.
I can't max it out.
Sure.
Because my CPU is too old and my video card is still the 1080 series. So
Yeah. It's crazy.
yeah, so I'm doing good. I've waited the whole 2 generations.
To not, yeah, exactly.
I've been waiting patiently because I knew that the 2000 series they added ray tracing and it wasn't that big of a deal, but now it's a big deal.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know we're going to be, at most, I think I'm a year and a half away from pretty much upgrading everything because, these laptops are great that we bought.
I do like these
but
MSI.
the MSIs, yeah. And I think we mentioned that before. You know,
Yeah.
I asked Kevin for some help getting a laptop, and I got it. I think he made it 2 weeks before he bought the same laptop, only slightly better because he cheats.
No, because that's all
Um,
they had. They didn't have the exact same. It was the exact same model though.
just
It was the same
busting
model.
your balls. I couldn't care
Slightly
less.
different CPU though.
Whatever, cheater. Um,
Slightly better.
it's see, like I said, yeah, cheater. Um,
Gives me all 0.2
where was I
frames per
going
second.
with that? But I
Oh,
know why. The video cards that connect to the SSD.
yeah. All the new video cards do that now.
There's no competing.
Yeah.
Like that's not a fair fight at all.
Yeah, because direct streaming, direct communication to the SSD is what the new consoles have.
Yeah.
Apparently, the PlayStation is supposed to be a little bit better than the Xbox on that regard, but those features are now coming to video cards.
I
So,
gotta say, I have no desire to buy the Xbox for multiple reasons. Primarily, I'd never be able to figure out which one it is.
yeah,
But you know, your PC argument is a strong one, and I don't know. I guess if I had to pick, I'd always pick PlayStation, and I don't know why that is.
yeah.
Brand loyalty? I have no idea what that is.
Well, I think that's you can get a PC. You're going to have a PC no matter what, so
Oh,
you can play
entirely.
all those
PC
games
is-
already.
Yeah.
So the exclusive games that come out with PlayStation, they do have some great exclusive. You haven't played them yet because you're too busy playing all these race car games, but there's some great exclusive PlayStation games.
I can't help it. They're a lot of fun.
Someday you got to play Last of Us. Oh.
Eventually, I will. Yeah, but see, that's a commitment game too.
yeah.
Like, I don't. I'm guessing, but
Yeah.
that's not a like. Oh, I'll play this a little bit and I'll come back to it later.
Yeah. Well, it's not as bad because it's not an open world game.
Yeah.
So it's not as horrible as some games like, Red Dead Redemption 2. That one takes,
Yeah,
you gotta take a month to play that
Exactly.
game.
You're going to be in there for a while.
Yeah, I can finish. I played Last of Us so much, I can finish in probably 2 days. I usually take about an hour break, but about 2 days straight, I
Yeah,
take a break.
exactly. I sleep for 1 hour.
Yeah, I sleep for 1
2
hour.
days.
Yeah, you should see when I watch all 3 of the Lord of the Rings movies back to back.
That's great.
The extended editions, they're 3 hours
That's
apiece.
the only way to do it. Yeah.
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 And every now and then I turn them on and go to sleep, just because I like the music.
The music, yeah.
I turn it kind of
actually,
low.
It is a good soundtrack.
Yeah, and I just kind of fall asleep to Lord of the Rings.
I can't fall asleep to a TV.
That's weird. Yeah,
It drives Mickles crazy because she loves to fall asleep to a TV,
Yeah.
but I cannot.
I can't. It puts me right to sleep, especially if it's like not a real like super action packed movie or something like that, and something that's like nice peaceful music like Lord of the Rings. I kind of like
I can't help it. I listen.
because frankly, in Lord of the Rings, all they do is walk
Yep.
for 3
Just
movies,
walk
so it's
around.
not
Yep.
that much action. You know,
Yeah.
for like 10 minutes, yeah, at the castle scene in the middle of the movie, but that didn't wake me up.
Yeah.
I just slept.
God, I was listening. I listened to a podcast actually. I give them a shout out. Stuff you should know. Josh and Chuck, they talk about just random science stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even remember where they're talking about, but they're saying that their tourism board was saying something like, "Oh, we have cross country skiing and hiking and snowshoeing," and I think it was Josh said, "So you have 3 different types of walking available."
That's pretty good.
It's just great.
Yeah.
Because, that's about the gist of it. Yeah. We're offering multiple forms of walking here. But, yeah. Anywho. So, yeah, that was it. That was,
Oh yeah, that's all I've done. Yeah.
wow. That's something.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't as busy this week as it was previous weeks. I don't know.
I guess I've been a busy bee in a manner of speaking. Oh, actually, we could definitely have a game to talk about. Because Kevin and I played a game last
that's
week.
true.
In fact, let's just jump right into that. So
Yeah.
goddamn, Phantasmophobia. I have no phobia. I have no fucking. I can't get the
What?
name of this game right to
Yeah.
save my life. Honestly, it's all over the internet.
Yeah.
It is the thing, and Kevin and I only were able to play for maybe 45 minutes. And there's 2 things that are hysterical about this, but I have to say, well, spoiler alert, if you've never played the game, we're going to talk about it a bit. And if you want to go in completely surprised, then we're going to fuck that up for you. So just be aware.
Oh, it's actually a real word that means fear of ghosts, by the way.
Oh, Phasmophobia is a fear of ghosts. Okay,
It
that's
is.
actually a really great name. So Phasmophobia is the name of the game. And it is like all the Ghost Hunter videos that I watch. And I think I've talked about those before. I've got this weird fetish because I don't believe in ghosts. And so I watch the videos that are evidence of ghosts, and I find it hysterical because I just think it's so great that we always jump to it must be the dead. But
It is.
I know we've talked about that on other episodes. But in this game, it's a co-op game, and Kevin and I have not played anywhere near enough, and I think I spent because I bought this for both of us because it just, I'm telling you, man, it just popped up on the internet like all over. Everyone's like, oh, this is the scariest game ever. Um, and I think it was $15, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I bought Kevin and I a copy, and we started playing for the first time last week. And you become the ghost hunter, and so you're using all the ghost hunting tools, and I'm doing air quotes. So you've got a flashlight that's black to look for fingerprints. You've got the voice squawk box thing, so the ghost can talk to you. There's Ouija boards, um, and you basically go into these houses and you try to find evidence of the ghosts. And the game mechanic is basically if you spend too long in the house, you start to go crazy, and that's more or less how you lose. And as you go crazy, you see more and more stuff, which was cool too, by the way, because I should have realized it, but we were really just learning the game. I kept seeing the ghost and taking pictures, but she never shows up in the pictures because she was never there. I was going crazy. I should have left the house the first time I took a picture, and she wasn't in it.
Yeah.
But we're playing this, and there's two funny things about it. One is, I don't think I had a single jump scare.
Oh.
Did I? Like,
Well,
I mean, they popped up. I don't think a single jump scare got me.
Yeah. I mean, I think the one came close when I ran at you once.
Yeah, you're right. The scariest thing, the thing that got me closest to a jump scare was Kevin just literally charging me. It had nothing to do with the game characters.
You didn't even jump scare when you were stuck at the house with our only successful mission.
I thought that was fantastic. You mean the very end?
The very end where you're like, yeah, the ghost isn't letting you out.
Kevin and I are running out, and Kevin is just like a couple paces before me, and he gets through the door, and the door just closes and never to be opened again.
Yeah, he was done.
And I applauded. I thought that was great.
Yeah. And I left.
And yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
But Kevin jumped quite a few times. It is definitely scary. Oh, God, I wish we were on camera because at one point we're using the squawk box, and Kevin asked, and this is a fun mechanic, you say things aloud. So when you're like talking to the ghost, you're literally saying, who are you? Where are you? Things like that. And at one point Kevin's doing, and he says, where are you? And you just hear, close. The look on your face, dude.
Did I just say close?
The look on your face was awesome.
I'll be in the truck.
Okay, I gotta go. I think I hear somebody calling me. I gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta go.
But yeah, it's a fun game so far. I don't know about you. I think it's a hoot.
It was a blast.
Have a great time.
Especially when we start figuring out how, because the game does not hold your hand.
Not at all.
On how to play it.
No, they're like, fuck you, there's some ghosts in there. Good luck.
Good luck. And I think we were failing every mission, and then the one mission had a whiteboard that says her name was Donna or something like that.
Oh yeah, she was pissed when I said that.
And they said she gets angry if you use her name, and you use her name, and I'm like, okay. We kept guessing because you got to guess 3 clues on what kind of ghost it is, and we had one left, and I had a tool in my hand that never really registered. But then you made her angry. I go, let me come in while you made her angry. And it went off. I'm like, oh, it's this one. This is the right clue. And I'm like, let's run. And I ran out of there, and you ran behind me, and he didn't make it.
Yep.
It was awesome.
It was great, though. I wasn't far behind you.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I saw you run out of that door and then saw the door
Yeah,
close.
I said, we got to run because I think we got it. And I think you're making the ghost angry. And
oh, yeah.
You did.
I did.
You did. And he didn't pull through.
Well, it was funny, too, because I realized this after you'd left, but at one point, like you had a couple jump scares because you're like, oh, there's a ghost. And at one point, I'm like, oh, there she is. She's coming to get me. And then I realized, I'm like, oh, wait, that's like a jump scare, but I'm not describing it as such. I'm just all excited. Like, oh, there she is.
There she is, yeah. Me, I jumped several times because, I mean, and I've seen other people playing online. The Ouija board does kind of give you clues, too.
Oh, yeah.
So that's freaky.
Oh, yeah, it's good. It's well done. I'm enjoying it. But then what makes it even funnier is, so we're playing this game, and we didn't use headphones. You really should use headphones for this game.
Yeah.
We weren't, so we're just yelling at our laptops, and which we'll be doing anyway, even with the headphones, quite frankly. But so then, on show nights, I end up staying up a little late. My wife goes to bed earlier. I come to bed, and my wife's, as far as I know, sound asleep. I'm getting in the bed, and she's like, "Who are you? Where are you?"
Yeah. Which is funny because that's not the first game that did that to me. There was a game like for the Xbox 360. I'm talking like 10, 15 years ago. I think it was called Police Squad or something like that. And you used to have to use a microphone for that game.
Okay.
And you used to yell them to get down.
Nice. Get
And
down.
you get down, put your hands behind your back and stuff like
that's
that.
awesome.
And you just have to yell at the game with that. It had voice recognition back then,
Oh, we talked about this before
which
the
is
show.
weird to do.
Too, actually. The last good jump scare I had. Oh, I want to talk about that game too, actually. I don't know if I ever closed the loop. The House on the Hill, that game.
Yeah.
I beat it. It's I want to say it's like $6. It's worth $6. It's like 5 chapters. The first one was awesome. The others, eh.
Yeah.
But that gave me one jump scare. But it's now I got so excited about House on the Hill. I don't know if I actually closed the loop on that one,
Yeah.
but I definitely did play that. But I forgot what my other point was. But these jump scares they're cheap thrills, and I keep looking for them because I find it funny. Oh, I know what it was. The last good jump scare I had.
Yeah.
House on the Hill gave me one. It was stupid. I walked through a door and something flew before me, and I was just like, whoa. And it got me, though, so it made me laugh. Last one that made me jump, I was actually playing Need for Speed Rivals, and the cops started coming after me. And next thing you know, you just get the breaker like, we have a guy in a car coming to get him now.
Yeah.
It did it through the speaker on the microphone, and I pretty much shit my pants because I did not expect that, and it was extremely loud.
Yeah.
It was in something that was in my hand. That was the last good jump scare I had.
Yeah, it's weird. You never realize when you first get the PlayStation, there's a little speaker in the controller, but there is.
And I learned, or I was reminded rather abruptly, because I did not see that coming, and I'm telling you, I pretty much crapped my pants because that scared the hell right out of me. I was like, oh my God.
And I'm pretty sure they made the PlayStation 5 controller even better, where it has a speaker and a microphone.
Nice.
So you don't have to use a headset to play any games
That's
if you
pretty
didn't
neat.
want to. You could just yell at your controller.
Yeah, yell at your controller, which I do anyway sometimes, so it works out. But yeah, so we'll keep you posted if we play this Phantasmophobia, because I'll be honest, I'm looking forward to playing some more tonight. And I don't know, so far I'm liking it. What do you think?
It scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's really cool what they did here.
Yeah.
Like, I give them props just for, just for the style of game. It's unique, so it's fun.
Yeah, it's a fun game. I do like those kind of games. I've always been a fan of the horror genre.
Yep.
Even though I do have a 12-year-old girl locked in me somewhere that is just scared of everything.
It makes it more fun for me.
It's weird that that's in me.
I'll keep you safe, buddy. Don't worry.
Yeah, keep me safe.
Yeah.
Well, you did a bad job last game. You died.
Yeah, actually, I won't keep you safe at all. Yeah, exactly. I'll die in your presence, and I'll laugh when you jump. But it'll be entertaining.
And the game's weird when you die too, because I died once in an earlier game, and I'm like, do you remember?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can see you, and you're like, can you? I'm like, yeah, I can see you. And then you went and ducked behind a garbage can. And he goes, can you see me now? And I'm like, yes, I can see you next to the garbage can.
It's just because I'm being stupid and I love it.
Yeah. I was like, I can see you. But it's weird that how you're in like it's an alternate universe, but you can see everything.
Yeah, it was
but
kind
no
of
one can see you.
Lord of the Rings, actually, once again.
Yeah,
It was like when he put on the
With
ring.
the ring,
there.
yeah.
Too funny. But yeah, that was just me being stupid. I knew you could see me. And he's saying hiding behind the garbage can.
He just ducks. And I'm like, what are you, a cat? You think you can see only your eyes? And I'm like, I'm hiding. You can't see me.
I keep myself entertained, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Too funny. So playing-wise, I've been playing a few things, actually. So Need for Speed Payback, played the shit out of that. That's the one you just got for free. And I have to say, it's got to be my least favorite Need for Speed. It really is.
Yeah, you can't stop playing it.
Oh, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just my least favorite. It's not a bad game. It really isn't. It's just I don't like the way you kind of have to level up each car, and that annoys me. With the other games, you can kind of just earn money, and then you can take any car, just sink a shit ton of money into it, and it'll be a good car, and that way you can kind of drive around whatever you want, whenever you want. Yeah. This, you kind of have to work it. It's annoying. But I did beat it. Just because, got to beat it.
Did you platinum it?
I did not crush it. No, there's so much. These games there's a lot of value in a Need for Speed game because you got your story, and usually they'll have multiple stories too, or sometimes they have multiple stories. But then you've got all these events that are outside of the story that you can do, and then they have all these collectibles that you could just go around and find if you wanted to. So there's tons of shit you can do, but I didn't do any of those. I just basically did the story and called it a day.
Yeah.
Because the concept was if you ended up wanting to play that I'd be able to help you in some way. But I'll be frank, I don't know so much I can.
Oh.
I mean, I could tell you a bit about how to play it, but that's about it. But I have two other games I others. Well, one I started playing is called The Evil Within.
Oh, the first one.
I decided to reinstall it, and goddamn,
Worth
that
playing. Yeah.
opening scene is still
Yeah.
just as good as
Still
ever.
good.
And yes,
Yeah.
it was like, do you want to continue? And I said no,
Yeah.
because I couldn't tell you where I left off.
Yeah.
I'm on. I needed the refresher, I really did, and
Yeah.
so I think I'm on chapter 5 now. I just basically um, saw the weird doctor dude, like you're with the one doctor that was in the ambulance with you. You meet his brother, who's all
Yeah.
fucked up. I just
Yeah.
basically killed his brother, cheating like hell, which is interesting. I want to talk to you about it because, well, one, it's funny because that opening scene, cheating like hell means nothing.
No.
In fact, the first chapter, I don't think it matters if you're cheating or not. It means nothing. If he gets you, you're fucked. You're dead. It does not matter.
Yeah.
You can have infinite health all you want. He cares not.
No. One hit kill.
Yep, one hit kill. And goddamn that fucker with the chainsaw getting by him with the where you got to throw bottles is annoying as shit. But I, made it through that fairly quickly too. At least I knew what to do. But the cheat I'm using tweaks out the game, so all I can use, the only item I can use, is the pistol. So I picked up a shotgun. Can't use shotgun.
Why not?
But here's the trade-off, and
Yeah.
and I'm fine with it because I think my trade-off is worth it. So all I can use is the pistol. However, my pistol never runs out of ammo and never needs to be reloaded.
Okay.
So, I mean, literally in the one screen where they have like the village come at you, where there's like 20 of them, I wasn't paying attention. I think I was watching TV, to be honest with you, and I look up, and there's fucking zombies all around me, and I just opened fire.
Yeah.
I mean, I must have shot 300 bullets. I mean, I was just mowing them down. And, yeah, so I think it's just fine. But I found that to be an interesting little tweak, and I realized I just don't care. It's basically, I'm just
Yeah.
getting through and doing the story anyway. It's fun. It's not a game I can play when anything else is going on, though. So that's why it takes me a little while, because I need to basically just... like if Mick's in the room, I can't play it because I need to listen to that game. I need to know what's going on. Like it's one of those commitment ones, I suppose I could put on headphones, but I haven't. So I'll keep you posted. I don't know how many chapters that game is, but again, I'm pretty early. So chapter 5-ish.
Yeah, something tells me there's like at least 15, but I don't remember.
Okay, yeah. I'm basically chasing the kid right now, so we'll keep that up for a while.
Yeah.
I think I made it maybe the first time I played it. I think I made it maybe 2-3 chapters beyond this, and that was it. Maybe to chapter 8. I don't really remember, but I'm not terribly far from where it's all new content to me, kind of thing, So again, keep you posted on that. There's another game I played though, and this was it's exactly what I wanted to play, to be honest with you. It's a game called Dead Effect, and I have Dead Effect 2 actually as well, and it's a first-person shooter, and you're basically shooting zombies. And the story is you're shooting zombies. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to what the story is. Don't really care. Something about space. You're on a spaceship maybe for reasons. There's zombies. You shoot them. I don't know what the story is. So I played through it once. I'm probably going to play through it again. Again, no idea what the story is. Not sure what the point is.
I think it's killing zombies.
You run around and shoot zombies, and
yeah, that might be the point.
Awesome fun. Yeah, it's absolutely great. You get to buy weapons and kind of customize them a bit and pick what you want to kill zombies with, and then you get to go kill zombies. And I gotta say, man, I would love to know the number out of all the games I've ever played of just zombies. How many zombies have you killed? Because it's a stupid big number.
Yeah.
And it's fun. But you know what's really fun about it is I don't remember buying Dead Effect, but I have Dead Effect and Dead Effect 2. I didn't even know what they were. I was going through my Steam library saying, what do I have that I haven't played that I should? And I go to the store page and I said, boy, that game looks pretty good. I'd buy it. Oh, in fact, I already have. Let me just install it.
Oh.
And so that was the game I was really playing, is like, what do I actually own that I bought on some sale that I literally don't remember?
Don't remember getting. Yeah.
So reasonable to assume that I found Dead Effect 1 and 2 for guaranteed less than $10. I'm guessing probably 5 or less if I bought them, because never even heard of the games before.
Yeah, me neither.
So I was going to install Dead Effect 2 because I already beat Dead Effect 1. It helps when you're cheating and you don't die, and same cheats, to be honest with you. I just don't die, I don't run out of ammo, and I don't reload. Just no time for these things. And you could make the argument, how is that fun? I have no idea. I have no idea. There's no challenge whatsoever and still enjoyable.
Yeah.
But I was going to install Dead Effect 2 to give that a go, and I said, you know what? I don't think I'm done with Dead Effect 1.
You need to go through it a couple times.
Yeah.
See if you can glean a little bit of story.
I think somebody was still alive, and
Yeah.
I gotta shoot them more.
Yeah.
So I gotta say, I enjoy it. My
awesome.
my weapons of choices, I use a big revolver because that's fun, and then a little crossbow with exploding arrows because it's fun.
Yeah.
So I'll keep you posted on those games. I don't think it's I'll put it this way. I want to be like, dude, you gotta buy this. You gotta try this. But if you're looking for run around for a few hours mindlessly, kill things, yeah, you could do a lot worse than that. So, before we move on, because we got some music to talk about, my friend.
Yep.
If I'm a tutor and I'm listening, maybe this is my first time listening, and I want to interact. Like, we talked about some shows already, and maybe I'm thinking, boy, you guys have to watch this, or I bet you guys would like this, or you guys think Penny Dreadful was good, you guys suck. Or maybe you've been playing something like, hey, you guys play this, man? You like Dead Effect? Boy, you're going to love that game. Things of that nature. If you want to interact with us, we would love to hear from you.
Yes.
And each and every one of you. And ideally, you have nice things to say. But if you don't, we'd like to hear those too. So, Kevin, how do they do it? If I'm a tutor and I want to contact us, what do I do?
Well, head over to our Tootcast.net webpage. Here you'll find links on a page called Links. And on that page, you will see a link that says email us at tootcast.net. Another thing you'll find on our page is a Patreon page. And the reason I bring that up is because we have a Patreon.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yay! Thank you, Audrey. She's now...
Thank you.
Yeah, she's our patron, and as she put it in a message to me, she says she's now our boss.
That's fantastic. Yep.
So she does have a request for us to talk about something, so we can decide to follow her orders or not.
Ever so curious what the something is?
She wants us to talk about a show that she liked as a youngin called Darth Vader, Dark Shadows.
I know of the show you speak of, but yeah. Actually, that was it. I'm done.
That was it.
I know of the show you speak of is all I can say about that. But Audrey, sincerely, thank you for the contributions. Definitely appreciate it, and they will go towards, the show. Quite frankly.
Yeah. If you.
Oh yeah, admission fans. We're going to be waiting on the green screen because somebody hasn't ordered it yet.
What am I supposed
to? Oh wait,
to?
no, it's me. I'm supposed to order it. No, I was just saying it like that way so they'd think it was you. But yeah, I just haven't ordered it yet. I've added it to my cart, I think.
Yeah, so Dark Shadows, and growing up in the household that I'm, lived in as a child, I saw a lot of old shows.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Shadows, the original Star Trek TV series, the Lost in Space TV series. So I watch a lot of shows from the 60s.
Yeah.
This was also another show from the 60s as well. And it's kind of an interesting story. There was a movie that Johnny Depp put out that I didn't watch.
I don't think people liked it very much.
I don't think people liked it, but it was based on this TV series. So this TV series...
It was like a monster soap opera, wasn't it? Like a vampire soap opera?
Literally, it's a gothic soap opera, which the whole premise of it was just a rich family, the Collins family. They called it a gothic soap opera. And the premise was that this family was just their rich family. They're living in a mansion in Maine, and their trials and tribulations of living in this house. And every now and then, a supernatural event would occur. And you would rarely even see them, but you would hear, the chairs moving around or ghosts. But nothing much happened. It really was just...
Did they acknowledge the ghosts?
Every now and again, they did. But so what happened was they weren't really getting... And this is funny. The show ran from June 27th, 1966 to April 2nd, 1971. And because it was a soap opera. So it was on every day.
Yeah.
So it's 1,225 episodes.
Jeez.
That they produced.
Wow.
It was the first show on ABC, I believe it was, that was ever in color, because you see on the screen now it was in black and white when it started. So first soap opera ever to be recorded in color, because it became color at some point. And it's the only soap opera that have 3 movies that was spin-offs from as well.
Okay.
Not including the Johnny Depp one. There's actually 3 movies with this cast of characters in it. And it was, and I was looking it up, and it wasn't until like 9 months, 10 months into the show where they're like, oh, we're having trouble with the ratings. Maybe we should introduce a temporary character named Barnabas Collins, who was, and they didn't even mention it for another 80 episodes that he was a vampire. So
Okay.
they introduced this character. They were going to have him for like 3 weeks, and then he was going to stab into the heart and done. Their ratings went up 60%
That's
the
awesome.
day they put it out. And apparently it was on at a time slot where it was like right after school for kids.
Okay.
So teenagers watch this show.
Yeah.
So before Twilight, that he was
Barnabas
Barnabas Collins. Barnaby Collins, yeah, I know. 40-year-old man at the time was a heartthrob.
Oh, that's great.
And he
That's great.
wasn't like a really good-looking man in today's standards, but people just liked him. He was a quiet guy, and he was the first like sympathetic vampire.
Okay,
So, so before then, vampires were like, "Oh, they're gonna kill you, blah blah blah, blah,
scary,
drink your blood."
Scary monster.
Yeah, this guy.
Raw.
Yeah, so I have seen a lot of these episodes growing up,
Yeah.
and so
Did it grow a beard when Barnaby showed up?
no, he didn't grow a beard. Well, I guess I guess it would be. Yeah, Spock's beard or not Spock's beard.
Yeah, Rikers.
Riker's beard. Yeah, did a Riker's beard. So the ratings were awesome. Like when he showed up, and the show was interesting because they had no budget still.
Yeah.
They didn't have time to reshoot episodes. So there's mistakes. So it's fun to watch for
Okay,
campy
yeah.
thing because people are hitting their heads.
Oh, that's awesome.
There's one time where Barnabas Collins was picking his nose. That's all caught on camera.
Oh, that's great.
So they don't have like chance to do like one take of these things all the time. So it's worth watching just for that. But it was interesting because they had time travel. They had,
Time travel is hard to write, man.
they had a whole section that lasts for months where it took place in 1897.
Okay.
So they want to see how, because it had witches and warlocks, and it really started becoming like, interesting show. It wasn't interesting when it first started, and it was great. Had the best ratings. Teenagers watched it. Apparently, my mom watched it. She made me watch some of it when I was a kid, and I never minded it. I never knew the whole story.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I have the patience to watch over 1,200
I'm
episodes
gonna
of a
pass
show.
on this one. Yeah.
That's a little too much.
1200's a bit of a commitment.
Yeah, it's a little too much. The show, from what I hear, was pretty campy. The lines were silly, but had a huge.
I was gonna say, so I think it still does. I think there's a
Yeah.
cult following there.
Yeah, people really. It has great music to it. In fact, when my mother came and visited me, we went to the Lyndhurst Mansion in New Paltz, New York, and that's one of the Dark Shadows houses from one of the movies, the theatrical movies. So we checked out that mansion. I think the original mansion from the TV show, you can go and see it in Rhode Island. What's that? There's a town in Rhode Island where the Breakers are.
Providence.
Yeah, I think in Providence. Maybe I could be wrong, but somewhere near. If it's not Providence, it's near Providence. Well, of course, Rhode Island's not that big, so everything
Everything,
in
yeah, I was
Rhode
gonna
Island
say,
is
yeah,
near.
Yeah, it's very close.
And the mansion is beautiful if you ever see it. But it took place in Maine, but the mansion was actually in Rhode Island. So the show was interesting. And then when 1897, when that storyline ended, it went back to the present, and they did some weird thing. I don't know. I didn't watch it. I just went to Wikipedia, and apparently the rating just dipped and never came back.
Jumped the shark there.
And they replaced it with Password. So there's a lot of storyline that was just left hanging. They tried to wrap it all up at the end, but it was like it was canceled like that. It was like almost no notice. It was like done. So
That sucks for those folks, but
yeah, so
it's a good run though. 1,000+ episodes, man.
yeah. So there's a couple of facts that I found out. So it was the first color soap. It's considered a soap opera.
Yep.
Barnabas didn't talk much when he has a fang in, because apparently when his fangs were in, you couldn't understand a word he was saying. So they would they would show him with his fangs, pan the camera to somebody else. He would take the fangs out, talk off camera, and put the fangs back in.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I don't know. It seemed like an interesting show, and I'm sorry, I didn't really see much of the show, but I mean, it had everything you'd want. It had a parallel universe in there, apparently.
Wow.
So it was interesting.
Sounds like they covered a lot of ground. Yeah, I'm sorry I can't talk to it more. I simply, other than knowing it existed, that was about it.
Yeah, so it was ranked number 19 of on TV Guide's top cult shows ever.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so it's a shame that the Johnny Depp version didn't capture the original awesomeness of the show, but you know,
Willy Wonka feels the same way.
it would. Oh, I know. Johnny Depp ruined so much. God, how can you? Why do you even Why do you even attempt to redo Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Now you know
just
how
like
I
it's
feel
too
about
genius.
like Madonna doing American Pie. It's like, well, honestly, with that one, I'm
Yeah.
like, who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah,
But
didn't Madonna once? Didn't she fart? Or I forget.
yeah, turn up the radio. Yeah,
Turn up the radio. Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
it happens, man.
it happened.
We have that recorded somewhere.
But this is true though. If you get a lot of the like Halloween soundtracks, that just like you play. I used to do that when I have trick or treaters back in the day before COVID. I'd play some Halloween soundtracks, and if they're the more of the theatrical, I'm not talking Monster Mash, but more of the Halloween theme song and stuff like that. It always had the Dark Shadows theme song on it.
Okay, nice.
So I can't play it here, but if you heard the Dark Shadows theme song,
I'd know it.
You've heard it before.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
Because it's on these soundtracks of haunted houses. So
Okay.
it's a really cool. And then I remember, because I didn't look this up, but I vaguely remember as a child watching Dark Shadows come on, and on this cliff where the house was on a cliff, you would hear this creepy music, this gothic music, and wave just crash up against this cliff. And I always thought that was cool as a kid. I was like, that's cool, but. So
Okay.
I barely remember the show. I remember Jonathan Frid, who played Barnabas Collins. I remember him. I remember Angelique, who was the witch that was in love with him, that apparently turned him into a vampire. But
It happens.
yeah. But one thing I did find out is that the writers did say that because they never found out, the Julia, I think it was her name, was in love with him and and she was a doctor, and she spent like the last season, whatever, trying to cure him.
Okay.
Well, apparently they moved to the somewhere in Europe after the show ended, and she did end up finding a cure for him, Asia somewhere. So just so anybody who was worried that he stayed a vampire forever, apparently according to the canon timeline, he is now cured.
So he's now mortal and dies.
Yes.
Are we all happy now?
So I did find that. So I did do some research, and there was an end to the story.
Well, that's awesome.
So yeah, so Dark Shadows is. Oh, you can see the castle, the mansion there. That's the original one. And I remember seeing one of the movies when I was a kid, but it's kind of blank, on a lot of things, because it seemed like I think I like the concept of it. I'm not sure I like the soap opera part of it as a child.
Sure. Yeah. Well, the worst part is, I guarantee I've seen worse. Absolutely positive. But it's got that cult following. But to your point, too much of a commitment.
Yeah.
1,000+ episodes now.
No, I just like I can't bring myself to do that.
Yeah, too many episodes.
Yeah.
Too much.
But I think my mom said at one point, she agreed. She goes, "Yeah, you can't watch the first like 40 to 60 episodes or whatever. You got to wait till Barnabas shows up."
Barnabas shows up. Yeah, okay.
Because the show really wasn't getting any kind of like movement, and it just wasn't happening. And then Vampire showed up, like, oh, okay. And long story short, they didn't kill him after 3 weeks. They kept him on forever.
Oh, of course, yeah.
They're like, oh, we have a character people like.
Well, you see that in shows all the time where you're like, oh, I guarantee that dude is supposed to be a short-term character, but we all love him too much to where... I mean, honestly, there's been shows where I'm like, oh, that character will never die, because if you kill him, I will turn this shit off right now and never come back.
Yeah.
And I know people would feel that way, so I'm like, oh, whatever peril he's in, he's going to walk through, because there's no way you're killing him, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
So, again, thank you, Audrey, that my research that I did today was for you as our patron. And
absolutely. Yeah, we appreciate your support, so thank you so much. It really... it's really going to help. So, and again, thank you to everybody. We appreciate the thumbs up, the likes, the communications of any kind, and definitely the Patreon. So, yes, Audrey, I can't thank you enough because, well, I don't know what that's going to go to next, but God knows there's something, whether it be, again, we're still working on the LLC, getting a green screen at some point if I ever order the damn thing.
Yeah.
And a variety of other expenses coming up. Just getting this stuff out on the web.
No one really says they hate the background besides Mick, but I'm okay with it personally. But
Oh yeah, no, I'm going to end up dead because my wife's going to kill me. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But gotta die something. Right,
yeah, I know. At least she doesn't see Mennonites in her sleep.
Oh yeah, so was that the nightmare?
No, she had a nightmare about something else. Of course, we just finished Hellraiser and she went to bed.
By the way, I think you just let the cat out of the bag.
People
were
cat?
still puzzling who it was.
She's gonna kill me when she hears this.
Yep.
But yeah, she was having a dream, and she said when I asked her the next day what happened, because I woke her up the way I do. I was like, "What are you doing?" And she was like, she talks in her sleep when
Wait,
she's.
is that how you wake her up when she's having a bad dream? What are you doing? What are you doing? 'Cause thinking
No,
your technique might need a little.
look, I don't have any bedside manner. I'm not normal, all right? Uh,
That's how you wake someone when they're
are you
having
having a nightmare?
Yeah, you scream really loud.
Yes. So yeah, she it was something like she mentioned like Silent Hill girl. I don't. She said she didn't think it was a Japanese girl that's chasing her.
Oh,
But
so she Americanized her. Does that just mean, what does that
yeah,
mean? You're scared of grace and you're racist? Like, what is.
I don't.
What am I supposed
Now
to
I'm
take
really in
from this? Yeah,
trouble.
you're entirely dead.
Yeah, I'm entirely dead now.
I'm just trying to make it worse for you.
Yeah, so I didn't really get. Yeah, so she said that the part of the dream that wasn't scary, the part that was scariest about the dream was that most of the time when she dreams about places, it seems like it's something's wrong about the place that you're in. There, nothing's quite right. Everything's kind of askew. She goes, this dream, it felt like it was really in our house. So it was exact. So usually it's warped in some way. No, it was our house, and it was chasing me.
Yeah,
So,
that sucks.
and as usual, I did nothing in the dream to help her, so she woke up mad.
Oh, okay, so you were there and you were just lounging out.
Apparently.
Oh, nice. See,
Yeah.
Mikkels talks about a dream where I upgraded her weapon. And I'm like, wow, I must play too many video games.
Activated.
Activated, exactly. But I have bad dreams all the time.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't remember my dreams at all. I had no idea. And on the rare occasion, like, I've literally had Mikkels wake me because I was like screaming, and she's like, "What were you dreaming about?" And I'd be like, "I was in the grocery store," and she'd be like, "And what?" Oh, that I was in the grocery
Yeah.
store. Like, that was it.
And
Like,
they were out of Red Bull.
like there was no, they weren't at anything. Nobody was chasing me. I just,
Yeah,
I
it's
was
like-
in the grocery store.
Yeah. Maybe it was just the fact you're in a grocery store. Like, I don't want to be here.
I don't know. It's just,
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm one of those that, I hope you're sitting down for this, because I don't believe in much. I believe I know what dreams are,
Yeah.
and I believe they have quasi significance. I believe when you go to sleep, your brain is basically defragging, for lack of a better term.
That's such a nerd thing.
Yeah.
I like watching defrag though. I mean, I would
Absolutely.
go with that. Like, I want to see those blocks move.
But basically, that's what it's doing.
Yeah.
It's taking the day's data,
Yeah.
and it's doing because throughout the day, let's face it, we are bombarded. The sensory input for an average human being is just ridiculous. It's just so much data coming at us.
Yeah.
So every second of even right now, we're discarding packets left and right. If you want to talk about data, we're just throwing it out wholesale.
Yep.
But then we go to sleep. And now we take all the stuff that we've deemed important enough to retain. Like, this is the stuff I'm going to remember from today. And your brain's like, yeah, I'll be the boss of that. And starts the greater purge. You don't need this. You don't need that. Oh, but this is important. Let's file that away. And it starts the whole defrag process of where am I going to put this? And while it's doing that, I think your brain's just like, well, you know what? Let me entertain you while we're doing this.
Oh, let's watch a little play.
You kind of, yeah. So let
Yeah.
me just kind of throw a bunch of disjointed things at you,
Yeah.
and I'll try to make some kind of narrative to keep you entertained. And I think that explains a lot of things because let's face it, we've all had that dream where I'll just give you a for instance. I'm sitting on my bed, and then I get up, I open the door from the bedroom, and I step out onto the beach because that happens. My bedroom's on the second floor. I live nowhere fucking near an ocean. But you do it in a dream, and for some reason, it never even dawns on you that this is odd. Like, normally when I walk out of my bedroom, I'm not on the beach.
Yeah.
No, you're just like, yep, whatevs. And I think, again, it's just because your brain's just like, I'm going to throw random stuff at you, and I'm going to try to give you a narrative, but I'm really working on something else.
Yeah.
And you just kind of go with the flow. And that's why you can have dreams that, you just accept these bizarre occurrences as natural. Or the other end of it, you can have that dream that's completely filled with terror. But, when I wake up and I'm asked what I'm doing, well, I was in the grocery store. It's just the emotion had nothing to do with the image, and it's, I don't know. That's my thought on it. So I don't think they actually mean a goddamn thing. However, we think they do because we take those events that happened today and then they somehow mirror something that happened tomorrow. And now it's like, oh shit, I dreamt about this or something to that effect. And it's just, have you ever talked about the Celestine prophecy?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to summarize.
Don't they make pizza?
It was a
No, it's Celeste.
the Mama
Sorry.
Celestine
Sorry.
prophecy. I'd like that one better. Okay, I think it was the '90s. There was this Celestine prophecy was a series of books. It was really just one book, and it was this dude that took basically Eastern philosophy and wrote it in a way that a freaking teenager could understand. And one of the things he said, I literally laughed when I read this. Said divinity's all around us. It happens all the time. All those coincidences that happen to you every day, they're not coincidence at all. They're the divine. And if you look for those coincidences, you will find them. And I laughed out loud when I read that because you entirely find them. You will 1,000% guaranteed find those coincidences. And it doesn't mean that there's any God that's any more part of your life. It's the blue Honda syndrome. You buy the blue Honda because no one owns one, and then you drive around the block and you realize everyone owns a blue Honda. You just never noticed before.
No, actually, I think I'm a trendsetter. I think that's what's going on. They got their blue Honda because I have a blue Honda.
But, this was like some kind of spiritual movement because everybody was looking and they're finding the coincidences because, of course, they were. They were looking. And I think dreams work the same way. At some subconscious level, you've got this little fragment of a memory from the day before, and then events kind of look similar, and you have a sense of deja vu, or perhaps even, I prophesized this, or I dreamt about this. And I don't think it's a reality at all. I think it's just those coincidences seem so similar that we draw the lines.
Well, my subconscious must be a jerk because there's things I really do want to remember. Mm-hmm. And however, my brain's like, you don't need to know all those facts. Mm-hmm. What you need to remember is all the cast of the Star Wars films.
I'm telling you,
my brain says that's all you're going to remember.
I have two theories on this one. I have no control over what I retain. Absolutely none, best I can tell. Although if you put it to song, I'll remember it forever. The other thing is, I'm starting to think my subconscious might be a genius. However, I completely get in its way. I think my subconscious might be really smart. And then there's me.
Oh, God. So your subconscious hates you.
I think I'm an impediment to my self-conscious.
Yeah.
Wow. I do my best thinking when I'm not thinking.
Wow. Okay.
If that makes any sense. Yeah. Like when I actively stop thinking about something, the answer will present itself just straight away. That
reminds me of the great Yoga Berra. When you come to the fork in the road, take it.
Take it. Yeah. It's good advice.
It's good advice.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, my friend, are you ready to talk about some music? Okay, we're good. That does in fact say 1:30, right?
Yeah.
I don't trust myself anymore.
I know.
And by the way, have you noticed? I'm trying. I don't know why you'd want me to, but I'm trying to look at the camera.
And I do recall that Sean says, like, we got like two things to talk about. I'm like, it should take us about at least an hour and 30. Didn't I say an hour and 30? We have an hour and 30 when you.
Honestly, when I say we have nothing to talk about, now I mean it like it's going to be a long show.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I wrote nothing down. It's going to be a while.
It's going to be a while.
You got any music for us, buddy?
I know last week I spoke about Janet Devlin, and I was up late and I was watching her show, and then she was announcing that she released one of her songs and like 4 different versions of it, one with orchestra, one in Gaelic. And I'm like, it's $10. I feel like I want to support people.
No, good for you. I think that's great. Yeah. I think that's wonderful. So you bought her album?
I bought her album. So, I have a notification it's shipped. So
good for you.
So I like her. I mean, she is, her cover tunes, some I like more than others. Mm-hmm. I don't think her Hallelujah is that good, but when she does like an Elton John, she does a great Elton John. So I think she's pretty cool and I like her voice. So.
Before the show, because I'd been remiss, I had not listened to Janet Devlin, but we did play a little bit before we got on, and she does have a unique voice. I find it very pleasant, actually, and I do like the way it cracks, and I like it's a bit of that Irish accent coming through, and it's a unique sound, and I dig it.
But I'm going to recommend this. This is not so don't hate me for this, but I do have a recommendation when it comes to Hallelujah. Again, I'm not even going to attempt to rank it with the best, of the best. But every now and then you hear a version, you're like, yeah, they did that song justice.
No, you're not going to say the Shrek version here, are you?
Pentatonics.
Oh, yeah, I can't like them. I want to like them, but I don't like them.
I don't like them. But this song, I like them. They did they did it justice. They had a guy doing the bass note and stuff like that, and it was really kind of powerful. I mean, it's a good song, so...
Oh, yeah.
So I think they did the song justice. They're not in my top 10,
Sure.
but they're, it's one of the better versions I've heard.
What is your top 10? Because my top 10 is something like Jeff Buckley 1 through 9, and then Leonard Cohen is 10.
Yeah, I like Leonard Cohen's version, but yeah, Buckley, and then
Buckley, Buckley, Buckley,
yeah, Buckley.
Buckley, Cohen somewhere in
I've
there.
heard a couple versions, and I'd have to look it up to see
Okay.
who sang it. And I know there's a couple times I've heard, I'm like, oh, they kind of did that good justice to it. So I'd have to, if I really put me to the test, I could probably create a top 10 Hallelujah.
And I hope you know it does break my heart to have to say Buckley before
Yeah.
Leonard Cohen, but there's just no question. Like Leonard Cohen listens to him and he's like, "Fuck."
Yeah, well, he's like a
Poor
Dylan.
Buckley.
Great writer, not the best singer. Of course, I think Leonard Cohen sings a little bit better than Dylan, but
Leonard Cohen's amazing too.
Yeah.
That dude knows how to write. Yeah.
yeah. So Buckley, yeah, and you know me, when I get like emotional when I watch things. Yeah, I do, and things scare me, and I do get tears in my eyes every time I hear the Buckley version. Not from beginning to end. There's like a certain scene, when I forget which part of the song is like love isn't a race or whatever that part is.
Love is not a victory march.
Yeah, love
It's
is not a
cold
victory
and it's a
march.
lonely hallelujah.
Yeah, that somehow when he sings that part, I'm like, ow, And when she cuts your hair, there's a couple parts of the song where I will get if I played it right now, you'd watch me get teary eyed.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like bawl or anything, but you would see my eyes get all red when I listen to that song, and it's every time.
Yeah, I don't think you get
every time.
emotional. I think you are emotional, and you know what? I think that's okay. I think that's better than okay. In fact, I think it's nothing wrong with being emotional, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm kind of broken. I'm like,
Yeah, me, my eye ducts are broken because I get all teary eyed for certain songs.
oh, there's
I can
songs that'll
hear
make
it.
me cry. I just can't think of any.
But yeah, it's interesting though that I've noticed it too. When I listen to a song and I like a song a lot, and I listen to it again, I'm like, I just cried about this yesterday.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
am I doing it again today?
Yeah.
There's a trigger, and music's the only thing I know of that really does that. Movie scenes don't always really do it. I can't get every time ET dies, I don't cry every time. But music, somehow it triggers me that if it's a sad moment when I first heard it, it's always sad when I hear it.
Yeah. I gotta say, man, the violin speaks to my soul like that. It sounds like emotion. It's the best way I can say it. Like that, it's weird, but yeah, there's. I can't think. I'd be damned if I can think of one. Although, I think "Cats in the Cradle" is probably the saddest song ever.
Oh, I know it's kind of happy for me.
That one, it's just so hitting the like, hey, you're
Eh.
mortal. Everyone you love will die.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.
Yeah, it's about your old man. Who cares?
So yeah, that one's a tough one. But yeah, I don't know. I can't think of a song that would make me cry off the top of my head, but it probably is one.
Yeah,
I guarantee it. They're sad songs, man.
Yeah,
And I listen to them.
yeah.
Oh, that's
I think
awesome.
if you want to test me sometime, I'm gonna list top 10 songs that will make me cry every single time.
Oh, I'd love that list. I would
Yeah.
love that list. I don't think I could come up with a top 10 list that would make me cry every time. I'd have to be in the mood.
Yeah, because there's definitely songs out there. Every time I see it myself, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm getting, yeah.
Oh, and yes, there's entirely a mood for crying. If anybody was like, what do you mean in the mood? Yeah. Sometimes you just kind of want a good cry,
Good
for lack
cry.
of a better term,
Yeah.
you know? That's interesting. So, other than Jen and Devlin, anything else there?
No.
Okay. Well, I only have a few, and actually, I went weird as fuck today. Because why not, folks? You know.
Yeah.
So we're just going to go into the random world of music here. I don't even know what you. I have no idea. Alternative rock. I have no idea what you categorize this woman as. Her name's Regina Spektor, and I'm a huge fan. I don't actually. I had to look up some of the names of her songs because I don't know them, but I know the first song I heard by her and it caught my ear was "Fidelity." And I was like, "Oh, that sounds interesting." And since that time, I seriously celebrate her entire catalog. I'm not going to go so far as say I love every song, but I seriously listen to albums at a time, and I do appreciate them. So just to name a couple songs, I named "Fidelity." "Folding Chairs" is another song. "Better" I definitely recommend, and "Samson's" another song I like. She is singer-songwriter kind of chick. Plays piano. Her voice is as angelic as they possibly get, and she is weird AF, and I love that. I just love it. She just her lyrics are just they're insane is basically what they are, and yet they're profound. And so, like, and I shared this with you ahead of the show, but in the song Better, she has a line that says, if you never say your name out loud to anyone, they can never ever call you by it. And okay, at face value, you're like, well, that's somewhat idiotic, but yeah, if I never tell anyone my name, they can't ever use it. That's great.
Yeah.
But when I look at it from a symbolic perspective, I'm back to my cat in the sense that it's the same thing I was saying about Delilah. If you never let anybody in, you're never going to get hurt, but you're never going to love anything either. And as much as it sucks to get hurt, you're better off. What are you going to do? Walk around and not tell anybody your name?
Yeah.
So it's an extreme example, but I love that kind of symbolism. And that's what I love about music too, because I don't know if that's actually what she means, but that's what I take from it, and that's what I love. So anyway, that's Regina Spektor. Definitely check her out. Oh, and she also did. If you know the Ben Folds song, "You Don't Know Me," she's the singer in the background, and amazing talent. And Ben Folds, quite frankly, I don't listen to enough. He's amazing.
Here's my theory. My theory is it doesn't have to be your name. It could be anything. If I don't tell you what hurts me,
Yeah,
you can't hurt me.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Well, once again, yeah, if you don't open up, nothing can hurt you.
Right.
But you never get the benefits of opening up. You
Yeah.
never get to feel that love. So it's one of those things. Yeah, you're protected, but you're actually worse off for it.
Yeah.
You know? Because,
Yeah.
it sucks right now. It sucked. Monday sucked, man. Monday was like a fucking knife in my heart. But, again, return on investment, 20 years of loving.
Yeah.
20 years of mauling that kitty. And believe me, I love that kitty. And that kitty loved me. And, will I take a dagger in the heart for it? Yeah, I will. I guess that's what it boils down to. Yeah, yes, I will.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, it's an important message. This is one of those bands that I'm just going to say yes. If you haven't heard them, go listen to them. Lots and lots of them. And this is going to spawn a few things. But Simon and Garfunkel. Yeah, his name's Garfunkel. Art
you mean
Garfunkel.
the backup singer?
Exactly. That's from a Stern bit, and I both laughed, cried, and felt bad at the same time. But Stuttering John from Howard Stern once met Art Garfunkel and said, "What was it like singing backup for Paul Simon all those years?" And holy shit, is that wrong and hysterical?
Yeah. Poor guy.
Art Garfunkel, let me just address it. You're super talented. There's no question. I own Scissor Cuts, dude. It was like me and your mom. We both bought that album, and I think you're a talent. But that being said, Paul Simon, holy shit! Like, sorry, Garfunkel. There's not even there's no question, and never has been, who's the talent. And that being said, Art Garfunkel is extremely talented. It's just Paul Simon is holy shit. Where did you come from? That's unbelievable. So my advice is, yes, listening to them both is fantastic. I talk about them in one breath. And honestly, they kind of play the same music over and over. So sometimes it's Simon and Garfunkel, sometimes it's just Paul Simon. I tend to like different versions.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, man, there's no way to ever recreate this, but God, I wish. Do you remember record players? Remember how they'd become uneven? And they'd have a wobble to them sometimes.
Yeah.
I had a tape of Simon and Garfunkel's, I think it was their greatest hits, or it was their Central Park concert, I can't remember which. But it was a recording off of a record player that had the tick. Remember the tick you would sometimes get? So just...
Yeah.
And it was faint, and it was in the background. I swear to God, it had an ambiance to the entire album. It was like a faint metronome in the background, and it just worked. But... again, it's great American music, first of all. It's Americana. I mean, it's folk for sure. It is, just so many good songs. So I'll name a few, but I'm barely scratching the surface. Just so much talent there. So, and everybody knows, they should know, some Simon and Garfunkel, but songs like America, The Boxer, of course, you got to mention The Boxer. Again, dancing around between Paul Simon and Simon and Garfunkel, still crazy after all these years. That's another great one. I played Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes right before the show because that song's fucking awesome. And I love the line, I could go, And everybody know what it's talking about? Yeah. No, nobody knows what you're fucking talking
no.
about. we're just nodding, Paul. We don't know what you're talking about.
If you know what I'm saying.
Exactly. It's like, no, actually, Paul, I have no fucking idea what you're saying. But Only Living Boy in New York is a good one. And that's actually on, I want to say it's on the Garden State soundtrack. Zach Braff has good taste in music. And, it's cliche and it's a fucking great song. 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover is a fucking great song. I don't care what anybody says. I love that song.
Yeah.
So a lot of good stuff there. And again, that's just, if you're listening and you're thinking, my God, you forgot this song. Yeah. And there could be 20 of you saying different songs.
Did you Sound of Silence on that list?
No. And you're going to talk about Disturbed, aren't you?
No, I'm going to talk about Graduate.
Okay.
If you haven't seen the movie The Graduate, where it was written for that movie, the movie's worth watching. It's a very heartbreaking moment when they play that song in that movie.
Yeah, I don't remember. I want to say I've seen it, but it's been a long time.
It's
Plastics, you know.
Yeah, it's worth watching. It's worth watching. It's an old movie, but it's worth watching. Because he basically has a relationship with an older woman, but then he falls for the old woman's daughter. And the old woman didn't like it, so the end of the movie is when he breaks up the wedding, and they end up together. And the whole end scene, they didn't say a word to each other. They just had those kind of moments where they just look at each other. That song's playing, and you just kind of watch them slowly regret their decision. It was amazing, actually. Great soundtrack for that movie.
Nice. The Graduate. Okay.
Well, they had Mrs. Robinson in as well. There's a few Simon Garfunkel's in that movie.
I can admit, I've never been a huge fan of Mrs. Robinson. Yeah. And that's the thing, though. I mean, I do, again, I'm skipping so many. I mean, somebody screaming Bridge Over Troubled Water. Yeah, I hear you. We've all heard it a gazillion times. It is a good song. It's a great song. I mean, it's a freaking amazing piece of art. Yeah. What is it, 54th Street Bridge song? Yeah. The Feeling Groovy.
Yeah.
That's great. And again, I could go on and on and on. There's no shortage of good Simon & Garfunkel or just Paul Simon songs. There really aren't. So if somehow you are listening to this and you're like, who in the hell are they talking about? Do yourself a favor. Go listen to some of this. I mean, it is true talent. Both of them are just amazing.
I'll be your bodyguard.
There you go.
It's a Paul Simon song.
Yeah. I love that song, actually. I do. So, I mean, there's just so much, me and Julio down by school. It could go on and on and on. Yeah. So, anyway, I'm going to throw out I'm going to throw out something really weird in a minute. But before I do that, a couple random one-hit wonders. And I'm going to mention the one you brought up. We're going to talk about Save Tonight.
Oh, Eagle Eye Cherry.
You got it, brother.
Yep.
I have no idea why that popped into your head, but it is a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
So.
Overplayed, but the song, I don't think it diminished. It's a shame the guy couldn't write anything else.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't completely hate it.
Yeah, it was a snapshot of the time, in the 90s, it was kind of a snapshot.
But yeah, I don't see me rocking out to it anytime soon, but
no.
I'll say it this way, if it came up on one of my crappy radio stations, which is entirely possible, I wouldn't necessarily skip it. Yeah. I wouldn't thumbs down it. How's that?
Oh, there you go. All right.
I might skip it. I wouldn't thumbs down.
You wouldn't thumbs down.
Realistically, I'd probably listen to like 30 seconds and then I'd skip it.
Then we're like, oh, that was enough.
Yep, I remember.
Because it does kind of repeat,
Yeah, I'd be like, nostalgia.
Bye. The third time he says save tonight, I'm done. I'm not saving you tonight.
Yeah, I'm not fighting the break of dawn anymore. Fuck that noise. I'm already gone. I'm not waiting until tomorrow.
Yeah, that's it.
And this is why I have to be cautious with the music I listen to, because even that, I don't want to remember the words, but I do.
You can. Yeah.
So I've got 3 other one-hit wonders.
Uh-oh.
I just went crazy. This one actually I think is funny. You should know it. It's a bummer, but I'll tell you the name of the song, and I'm wondering if I should tell you the name of the band or the name of the song. You pick. What do you want? I'll give you one of them. You tell me the other. I think you'll get this.
Give me the song.
The name of the song is No Rain.
Blind Melon?
It is Blind Melon. Good man.
Boom.
Yeah. Good one.
Sad life.
I was trying to remember that dude's name. Shannon something. I can't remember.
Yeah, he had a girl's name.
I want to say Shannon Calhoun or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, heroin, I want to say?
Yeah, overdosed. I saw a video of him. The reason why I know, because I would say a month ago, I watched a video of him just in the studio just rocking the song out, just like acoustic.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, oh God, the pain in his voice, just his voice has natural pain in it.
Yeah.
And I just like, oh yeah,
It's a shame actually, because I'm going to hell, so I can say shit like this.
yeah,
I would have at least liked a few more albums first. I think they were going somewhere. I think they had some talent.
yeah,
But yeah, No Rain's great song, great lyrics, and definitely '90s. I mean,
yeah.
kind of dripping with '90s. It's weird. It was '90s like with a like '60s,
Yeah.
'70s hippie vibe to it. It was weird.
Read a book to stay awake, right?
Um,
Wasn't that like?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
and it
was
rips my life away, but it's a great escape. It's weird, isn't
great
it?
escape. Yeah, that stuck with me because that was like my college days. I think I was on college radio a lot.
Mm-hmm.
My 2 years of college before they kicked me out. But I listened to college radio, and that was definitely on the college stations.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was a good. Good. It was a great song, and actually, I think it holds up. I know, honestly, fairly to everybody. Keep in mind the age of Kevin. He's 45. Okay, I'm 45 too. So because of that, '90s is going to be.
Yeah,
there's going to be a sweet spot there, and there's
Yeah.
going to be. Sooner or later, we're going to tell you something from the '90s is really good, and you're not going to be from our generation, and you're going to be like, "Wow, they're so wrong." And I get it.
Yeah.
But it's impossible for us to tell what's nostalgia versus quality.
Yeah. Well, I did work with a guy named Chris, who I worked with him when I worked for the stockbroker, and now he works again with me. And he was always a fan, and he's way younger than me. He's in his, I think he might be 30 now, but still, that's young compared to me now.
It's like 15 years
And,
younger.
but he says the 90s rock. He's like,
Nice.
he celebrates all the 90s music. So,
Well, yeah, but what did you think of classic rock? Because does he like the '90s for the same reason I love like the '60s?
well, I don't know. I don't know why he likes it.
You
I
know?
just think it just, I don't know. I guess if he grew up in the tunes and 90s tunes and he liked rock and roll, that's before R&B and a lot of the music that we have now kind of took over the big hits, country music. So rock and roll is like not like number one anymore on the radio dial. So, but in the '90s, it still was. It was still rock
alternative
and roll.
rock.
Yeah, alternative rock.
Alternative was its thing. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
even know what music. Yeah, music's just so weird nowadays, and people consume what they consume. Like
Yeah.
my Pandora, I've got 20 stations on it, and they're all various shades of bad.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I watch like Saturday Night Live, and there's a band every now and then. There's a singer or band that comes on, and I don't know who they are because I'm old. And then I listen to them, I'm like, I must be getting old because this is crap. And I fast forward over the song.
Well,
and
I
I'm
told you and Mick the story beforehand, but I read an article today or yesterday, I think it was today, and it was 20 celebrity couples that you didn't know were couples. So that's 40 people. I knew 4 of the couples, meaning I had no idea who these other people were. So out of a list of 40 celebrities, I knew 8 of them. That's 32 people that are celebrities that I'm like, I'm just fucking old.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are, what you're from. You don't look familiar.
Probably all reality TV for all I know. I don't know. I don't watch any of that stuff.
Exactly. But that's how you know you're old, is when you wake up one day and you're like, wow, I don't know who these people are. Well, I said in one of the shows, I finally had to look up who's that Weasley there?
Oh, Ron Weasley. Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran. Yeah.
Ron Weasley.
Exactly. His brother.
His brother. He's a Weasley.
God
You
damn,
see
I
Ed
laughed
Sheeran,
at
he's a
that.
Weasley.
I finally had to look up what an Ed Sheeran was. I'm like, I'm tired of reading about this.
Yeah,
And
so-
props to Ed Sheeran, by the way. I'm not saying I listen to his music because I don't, but he earned the most money last year because he worked the hardest, and I like that. I dig that. Where he grossed the most tour-wise because he was simply out there busting his ass, and I respect a good work ethic.
Yeah.
So good on him. But not to mention he was in that Yesterday movie. Props for that.
He still doesn't have a soul though, because he's
Ginger.
Ginger.
It happens.
Yep.
Where'd that even come from anyway?
Don't even know, but it's true.
But it's true. That's awesome. 2 more one-hit wonders, and then I'm really going to go weird. As if we're not going weird enough here. But I'm going to throw out a band, I believe they're a Canadian band, called Angry Salad.
Oh,
And the song is the Milkshake Song. And
did they bring all the boys of the yard?
not that one. No,
Oh.
no, not quite the no. In this one, she gives him a milkshake and a kiss, and I believe the next line is something to the effect of, "How could anybody want more than this?" And could do a lot worse than a milkshake and a kiss.
Yeah. Is it a malt? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
vanilla malt, I
Yeah.
presume. It's got to be,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah. That's
just
the way to go.
why would you do it? I mean, you're not going to kiss otherwise, so
Yeah, I
it's
know.
got to be.
Yeah, we're like, "Mwah."
Just stands to reason.
Yeah.
Then the other one I just played for you is a. We're going weird here. It's a band called Squirrel Nut Zippers, and the song is called Hell. And we're checking out. And again, I'm just trying to give you guys some variety. But at the same token, Shy of Save Tonight, I threw that out there for Kevin. These are all songs I would say I will listen to right now. Like, this is a good song.
Yeah.
So every one of them, I definitely recommend listening to. And this is a little bit of a rabbit hole, but I want to talk about a play, I suppose. I want to talk about music. I want to talk about a movie. It all goes by the same name. I want to talk about the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I would just have you watch the Jack Black video.
Oh, I've not, but it's funny. I have news about Rocky Horror too to talk about.
Oh, so after we get to this, you got to watch Jack Black's video he just put out like a day or two ago about rocking the vote, and it's all about, and he sings time warp.
Oh, Time Warp. Okay,
Yeah.
it's funny.
And he's hilarious. One, he's hilarious. Two, the guy can sing.
Oh yeah, no question about it.
Guy can sing. So it's an awesome video. So after we can't show it now because obviously we'll get copyright.
I would have figured you'd take on Hot Patootie.
Hot Patootie?
Yeah, that's the Meatloaf song.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I think I dressed up as Meatloaf when we went to the record.
Oh, you entire did you? Yeah, well, you dropped as Eddie. Yeah.
Yeah, I went Eddie. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that was a good time.
Exactly. Yeah. If we can ever go out in the world again, I'd entirely go see Rocky Horror.
I have a video of us at that place.
Oh, do you really? I'd love to watch that. That's fun.
Yeah,
Do you remember that though? Because you'd ask me like, oh, have you ever seen this before?
Yeah,
Do you know this? And I'm
Yeah.
like, I might know
Yeah.
all the words to
Yeah,
every song.
all the songs. Yeah, I've seen it many times too, but I didn't think, because we went to a live show at, downtown Albany, and they give you all the toys and stuff.
Yeah, we
and
bought the
streamers.
little
the pack. Yeah, and
Yep.
you participate. So they performed the movie. They had a bunch of actors performing in front of it. I'm like, oh, it was such a good
Oh,
experience.
that was great though, because I had
Yeah.
you, Charlize, and Mick looking at me
Yeah.
for like, what do I do with this?
Yes.
I got a piece of bread. What do I do with this?
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
I'll tell you what.
Because I've never been to a live show of the.
I got cards. What am I doing with the cards?
Yeah, what am I looking at the card? Yeah. It was a mess.
It was fun though, wasn't it?
It
I had
was
a great
fun.
time.
Yeah, I do like it. Yeah.
And I'm not kidding. I love the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Not remotely being funny. I mean, I
Yeah.
love the music. Love everything about it. The soundtrack's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm not saying every song's good, but 90+% of it is. I mean, it starts with pretty much Damn It Janet. Well, it starts with the
Damn It,
Lips
Janet.
and
Yeah.
the science fiction double feature. That's great too.
Yeah.
But Damn It Janet, and it just goes from there. But yeah, I mean, Time Warp. That's classic. The Meatloaf, the Hot Patootie, of course. The Touch Me song, freaking love it. So many good songs, and definitely worth checking out. But I'd actually brought that up because I had read that Tim Curry is making his first public appearance to basically do a reading
Oh.
of his first public appearance since having a stroke, like 8 years ago.
Yeah, 'cause I know I think he's still in the chair, but
Yeah.
I think he can talk better, because you got to
Oh, yeah.
relearn how to speak.
It's a fucking bitch. And,
Yeah,
oh,
I barely can do that without a stroke.
Dude, I have a version of him reading the Christmas Carol, and if it's not clear, I got a little bit of fetish with Dickens and the Christmas Carol, and I even know why, because I'm hoping one day I wake up and I'm not Scrooge, or at least I'm Scrooge on Christmas, but not today. But he's phenomenal. So, but he's doing it to support Democrats somewhere, Wisconsin, Texas, I don't know where, but that one blew my mind, and we've done a great job of navigating politics. And quite frankly, I'm of the belief that it is now Thursday, October what?
29th. Yep.
Yes. So the U.S. election is Tuesday, meaning this show will only be up basically a day or two before we vote. So I'm not getting into it too much, but the man had a fucking stroke, hasn't been seen in 8 years, and he decided, I'm coming out because this is that important.
Yeah. Good for him.
That screams volumes to me, and thank you, Mr. Curry, for doing that, because
I love Tim Curry.
I agree. Man, when you watch
He's
that,
it.
I mean, he literally hurt himself on the set of that when he Rocky's running away from him, and he's all in the heels, and he's like, oh, and he's like bouncing off the wall. It's fucking genius. I mean, the guy is so good, and literally hurt himself when doing that too, because like he slammed against the wall so hard.
Yeah.
But it's so in character. It's so good. And yeah, it's Tim Curry's amazing in that. You do need to. A lot of people are going to start watching this and say, "What the fuck am I looking at?" And yeah, I get it. You got to give it a chance, and you need to get over the whole transsexual thing. You know, like if you're a homophobe in any way, you're not going to dig it. Um, and
Transsexual transvestite from Transylvania.
that's right. Sweet transvestite.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
But yeah, it's
It-
if you got any hangups there or you got that kind of hate in your heart, you're not going to dig it because it's basically all about, open-mindedness, love everybody kind of
Yeah.
thing.
It's a good message.
It kind of is actually. It's kind of honestly, it makes me think love the
Yeah.
one you're with, but he just is like, no, I mean it. Like, I
Yeah.
don't care what their sex is, love the one you're with.
I think the only negative is when he took out Eddie.
Eddie?
He just beat the crap. He just killed him.
He killed Eddie,
Yeah,
yeah.
he killed Eddie.
And then
but
they ate Eddie.
He came back though, right?
So he was just sleeping.
He was just sleeping. He was sleepy.
So yeah, so Rocky Horror Picture Show, definitely recommend it. Again, I recommend it from all aspects too. I recommend the music to it.
Yep.
I recommend the movie itself. I enjoyed it. And if we ever leave our houses again and there's a Rocky Horror Picture Show playing in your area, I highly recommend you take the time and you go see it once. It is going to be a raucous affair. I promise you. It's going to be lewd. I promise you. It's going to be fun. I promise you that too.
Yeah.
So definitely recommend that. So, my friend, well, I know of at least one shout out we have to give.
Yes.
But do you have anything else to cover today?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, I would just like to say once again, I suspect you would as well. Thank you very much, Audrey, for the generous contributions. We will put that to good use. We will continue to develop these shows, and one day we plan on adding good content.
Yes.
Not today.
Not today.
I'm gonna hold my breath.
But as a Patreon member, expect some merch. Audrey already requested some merch, so she'll be getting it. It's going to be in her case, she wants one of our masks.
Nice. And we're still treading that trail. Like we don't have that. That's not anywhere near prime time yet, right?
No, we don't. Yeah, I don't know which vendor we're gonna go with, but I'm just gonna throw one of the ones we just got because heck, it was good quality. So
yeah.
So it might as well. But yeah, we need a. I don't know. I think when we take a break, I'm going to research T-shirts and hats just so I can figure out, which one. Because it's not a quick process. You got to order some, see which ones hold up. And,
well, and I'm glad you have that same neuroses I do because we're putting our name on this. Yeah. And that's I think we've talked about it before, but I'm not going to ever put my name on something I think is shit.
Yeah.
Just not going to do it. My name's all I got. And I think you feel the same way. And I love that we're wired that way.
Yeah, I want to make sure it's good quality because I wouldn't want something that's like, I don't want like a Hanes T-shirt with an iron-on patch on it. That's not what I'm looking for. I want something better.
You making fun of my Cobra with the fuzzy shoe on it? It was fucking awesome when I got it. I was like 7. It was awesome.
No, we have to go Fruit of the Loom or nothing. Yeah,
It's awesome. Oh, that's great. But sincerely, we do appreciate that, and we appreciate the subscribes, the thumbs up, the likes. We appreciate every one of you out there, and we hope you're enjoying this. And again, the whole concept here. I know the only negative feedback I've really seen is like, hey, you're not relevant was the one dude, but
I like that one.
It almost seems like people are looking for something, and it's not something we're trying to offer. We're just trying to, we hang out every week. Yep. We talk about pretty much this.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to share it with all of you. That's our show. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. And thank you, Audrey. So if you have more suggestions, you have voting privileges. We have 10,000 votes and you have 1, but we'll check out your votes.
Yeah, no, for all, it's we're talking about that. What does a Patreon subscriber mean? And it just means, you have influence on the show.
Yes, you do.
You bring up things, and if we're capable and we think it fits the theme, you bet we're going to talk about them. Likewise, if they don't, then we're not going to, I guess, because what are we going to talk about? Yeah. But we can't thank everybody enough because, again, Audrey especially, because we're doing this out of love right now. So anything at all helps.
Yes, it does.
It's that. Anyway, thank you one and all, and Audrey especially. And I think we are done. So with that, why don't we call it a day?
All right.
So this is Sean,
This is Kevin.
and that's the one other thing.
Good night.
Fucking nailed it. Finally, we remembered how to end our show.
I know. I still want to do this.
Oh yeah. Kill me, buddy.
Yeah.